And I know that you guys were planning on, or were talking about using that. Oh, there it is, right there. Christina Christie's How Long? Did I give you an answer on that? Because I don't remember giving you an answer on that.
How long? What?
The
Since?
condensers had been running.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we did get an answer on that, did we?
Okay.
Just the fact there was a lot meant probably not. Maybe actually no, because they went silent for a while ago, didn't they?
Well, we
Uh,
knew.
yeah, they went silent a week ago. And that coincides with about
Oh,
when Christie
the
thinks
condensers.
things started cooling more than just weather norms. I can't not give you an exact date with a 12 there. So yeah, the condensers appear to have been turned on, and the planet started cooling about a week ago. Some music playing. So you guys were on your way to try and narrow down the location that distress signal had come from, according to coordinates, or at least approximate location data included in David's transmission to Raza. Um, you initially were given coordinates or location data that would cover about a city-sized region, but you're in the suburbs of the city right now, or the suburbs surrounding the city, and the directions you would go to reach that city-sized region are outside of the city. Bonus, that means you won't be searching through every city building. It just means you have to try and figure out a way to get out there in this cold and low visibility fog, um, and search around a large, potentially rural area. Test test.
Did we have any luck finding native maps? I know we were looking.
You were looking. You were able to, by hooking up some of your batteries, your power cells to the electronics they have there. Amaya, while it was difficult because they are running on very divergent technology, Amaya was able to and uh, get the get the computers working. There's no internet connection, just as there's no power going to any of these computers. But it's not hard to access some cached data. Go back to some browser history, and you don't even have to go too far back, as these people got their notices to report, and you know, Googled the Russian Google, Googled directions to their site, or Googled information about it.
Google.
Um, and the one that was in the house you searched most thoroughly, the computer, then the instructions that was in the house you searched most thoroughly, it actually seems to be in the direction of your distress beacon.
Well, at least with no one nearby, potentially.
Yeah, absent any other ideas, I think we have to try to head over there. But
But
there are cars and things around, right?
Yes, there are.
We should absolutely borrow one if we don't have one of our own to use for this.
might as well borrow more than one, right?
I mean,
Starts with one. Can keep going.
Any motorcycles?
Oh, you did not have Notario on this. Oh, you do have Notario on this. She's just doing repairs. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think given the Vegas situation, I think most of the people are staying on the ship, right?
That was
Yeah,
the
sure.
general idea. I think there's a division of labor already clearly evident from the screen.
Yeah, I didn't think we want them coming with us.
Well, that was the door team. Do you want the entire door team with you, or did you want to leave most of those others back on the ship? In fact, do you want to reassign things?
We still need somebody who can read Russian, so Valerian's stuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
The less people Riley has to protect, the better.
Yeah.
Let me convert this to away team. The more people you have working on repairs, the better off you are, at least narratively. You're still only going to get the 2 hit points per, 1 hit point per skill level per day.
Okay.
Wow. I want to narratively have this ship up and running sooner rather than later.
It means that your people who are working on it will be less exhausted and tired.
Yeah. Don't want them to be fucked up because we don't want them to really sleep much, so.
Well, I think we determined the sleep thing is not really an issue yet.
Right.
Well, yeah, but.
It's when the world, it's basically if the planet / system gets subsumed into the Everworld, which has not happened yet. We don't have an exact timeline on that yet, do we?
You don't.
Or was that? Okay. But we know it's shorter than might otherwise be.
Yeah, I mean,
know,
it's one of
the
them.
whole
There's no point risking it, though.
That's a lot of condensers. We need to probably buy us quite a bit of time, though, if we shut down even one condenser, wouldn't it?
You're not too sure.
Wow. I'm going to say it would.
I think the only actual staffing concern is if we leave Riley here for defense.
But then you have
Hold
Valerian
on.
with us. We're going towards Vega.
Game
And
mode.
Valerian would be left without
Yeah.
any defense.
Yeah.
Whereas, presumably, they have sensors on board. Like they can at least avoid. They can actually, retreat in some form or fashion, right? I mean, even if it's abandoning the ship, if Vega start approaching them, right?
Yeah,
True.
they're keeping the engines running, and they could lift off pretty quickly if they detect incoming presences.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I think we need. Yeah. We want Valerian.
That's my only concern for it.
I've put the 2 people that seem to be up in the air over into the galley. Do you want either of those with you, or do you want to put them back to the ship for helping with repairs?
I mean, it's one of them. If they're able to share the load, then probably be better for them.
What about these people too? So that's a fair team working on repairs here. Yes? No?
I mean,
Mm.
sharing's caring, you know. But yeah, I'm okay with the current.
What are we sharing?
No, the repair team sharing the workload.
Oh. Yeah, you already got 5 people working on it there.
Okay. I'm gonna move them back over here. It sounds like you're, they're also, I realize, that they're also guards.
And yeah, I mean, pretty much, I guess they're going to be dedicated to guarding Riley, anyways.
Okay.
So this will be number 1 priority, right?
Sure.
Mhm.
We'll say that Libra suggests she go back to the ship.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
That way, they've also got someone there in case of random zombie infestation or something. Not that that would happen.
Yeah, I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So with the away team situated, you look about for vehicles. probably are going to have multiple vehicles, as there are 8 of you. But quantity of vehicles is not a problem, nor is selection. They're all a little bit foreign, a little bit alien to what you're accustomed to. But they
Aren't you a little bit of rock and roll?
they they still came from a common base, and so they all still have commonalities with modern vehicles. You know, they've got an ignition button. Their driver's seat is on the left side. They use a steering wheel.
Heathens.
I know, right? And if you want, yes, you can find motorcycles.
Actually, motorcycles aren't practical, but I still, I mean, might as well bring at least one motorcycle, right, y'all?
We can steal an alien motorcycle on the way back.
I mean, I don't think we have any room on the ship to put a motorcycle, anyways.
Just put it in the
True.
barracks. It's fine.
No, that's impractical.
We're sorted out. We don't need a motorcycle right now. We're going.
Nah, I don't think we need a motorcycle right now.
Okay.
All right, you're going. With the directions that you have, it's fairly easy to roll on down these suburban roads and get out into a little bit more countryside. A couple things that you notice along the way is that all of suburbia that you're seeing in your limited range of visual range is similar to the house you just left. The houses you were just at and the one you searched. They're all nice, if somewhat modest houses. You know, they all have a yard, and there seem to be no signs of life or human life in any of them. You do hear and run across a group of stray yapping and barking dogs that just kind of seem to be roaming around in a pack. Assuming nobody stops for them, you pass on by, and you come to a kind of a cornfield situation. Corn here has all died, of course, because it got real cold. Actually, I'm not sure if the corn would have died yet. It's in the process of dying.
Yeah. Not looking good after a week.
Yeah. And what looks like a unintended or unplanned road through the cornfield, along which several military-looking vehicles appear to have trodden.
That's weird.
Why?
Everything we have seen indicates that this place had a planned economy. Why were they growing food they weren't going to eat?
I mean, maybe they weren't expecting the scale at which they managed to get things sorted at.
No, I think that's strange, but it doesn't really affect what we need to do here.
Or this place was just more susceptible to being condensed. Also, it's one of them. Corn usually takes a while to grow. Does it not?
Is just broadly shrugs.
Sorry.
I'm going to remind you, I come
saying
from a
it's where
planet
they have-
covered in water.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're just finding it where they use all this space for farms. Like it's not just in a tower or building somewhere.
No, I'm finding it weird that they have crops that are dead in the field when they've achieved their planet-wide goal of apparently transcending to another dimension, where one would expect they're not going to need the corn, in a place where they have obviously been fairly rigidly planning and controlling their economy for centuries.
But they needed the corn before
Yeah.
they
Gotta keep
transcended.
the status quo. It's like if, Charles across the street goes to the shop every single Wednesday, all of a sudden he stops going every single Wednesday, you're gonna be a little bit weirded out.
Okay, let's move on.
Riley rubs her arms through the vac suit. I assume you've got her in a vac suit, right?
No, I'm getting
Sure.
everyone.
Do we have a child size, a teenager size
Yeah.
combat field uniform?
Oh, comic. Yeah, Amaya had fitted one to her.
I mean, I assume we might as well be in combat field uniforms, right? There's, so far as we're aware, there's no issues with the atmosphere here.
It's not so cold that you can't do that. No, that's fine. I think I was treating it as a little bit colder than it is, but no, it's not that cold yet. It's cold, but it's like, you know, you're in Greenland cold, not Hoth?
Antarctic.
Yeah, not Antarctic. Yeah, that's a good one.
No, Mark's is making sure everyone has a vac suit anyhow.
Okay.
So he's using his thing.
Perfect. So nobody's actually cold, and you can be in your combat uniforms.
Yes,
No.
I'm using that one.
Yep.
Pressure field.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Then Riley rubs her arms, even though she can't feel the cold, and
Imagine it's cold.
contributes to the conversation of it's still creepy.
Yeah.
Also that. I think this might be the first time she and I have agreed.
Oh, this is for sure weird.
I mean, imagine having that much room to grow things.
I
mean, really, I guess agriculture would be a strange thing on Kamiega.
yeah.
I'm shocked they haven't got like a mega structure just like, you know, built all the way up just to handle everything.
Handle what?
You know, just go vertically rather than laterally.
Go vertically for what?
Like hydroponic bays and stuff.
We're wrecked to the corn.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go on.
Okay. You turn down the flattened corn path, and it goes on past your visibility. But before long, figure you've probably gone about another 200, 300 meters. A low entrance of some sort comes into view, and then you see an ATV off to the side, a little bit behind it. As you approach nearer, you see more vehicles left by the side of what appears to be a bunker entrance.
How many more vehicles?
There's only 3 or 4 ATVs here. And let's just say that there's one Jeep off to the side.
But this is the bunker where everybody was getting told to report to, as far as we can tell.
It is.
In this area.
There should be a lot of abandoned vehicles here. Unless everybody walked, which it doesn't look like they did.
Well, they could have been. I mean,
this is inconsistent.
The tracks in the corn were like military, like a convoy pass through, right?
Yeah, the tracks in the corn were definitely military vehicles. There were these ATVs.
So yeah, would not have been upgraded by the ATVs. So presumably they could have been, hauled in with, like this, like big military trucks, like bussed in, if you will.
And then somebody took the trucks away.
If you're trying to ship a large amount of people, it makes sense to like use a bus or something.
But again, with the corn, this is not consistent with everything is done from here mindset. We don't got to worry about this no more. Was clearly not what these people were thinking.
I mean, I will concede that part. It's a little strange why they wouldn't be parked here, unless I don't know. The drivers got their own special bunker.
That's bizarre.
Somewhere else.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, if we go inside, we might find more answers.
To the same place.
That I would believe. Although you'd think they'd be somewhere where we could see them.
Oh, and a bunker is not really as great if it's got multiple entrances.
Also true.
Are you guys
depends what the bunker's for.
Approaching the entrance and inspecting the vehicles and all that?
No,
Or
we're
you're
going to stay
keeping your
way away
distance?
from the entrance and discuss it until we're fully secure that we've.
I'm okay with that.
Wait, solve the mystery of these vehicles.
There are
No.
vehicles, and this is an entrance. Let's go check it out.
So, okay, there's not like a parking lot, though. They just built a bunker in the middle of nowhere
In the middle of the street.
and stuffed some number of people in it. And then this is real weird. Okay. Yeah, there's no real substitute for going inside at this point.
It is a little weird. This is in the middle of a cornfield, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of a strange place for the entrance.
It's very weird.
Does
This is weird.
anyone here have any kind of agricultural knowledge aside from you, Omikua?
No, I'm from a planet that is covered in water.
And we're from a planet that's a
Right.
desert.
Yeah.
Most of my
planet
food
that's
came
walled
from a
off.
can.
There's a
Yeah.
pretty sizable culture gap, is what we're saying.
So someone can roll with Omikawa. They have general knowledge of this, more than it sounds like anybody else, but they're not proficient with this. They just
Well,
get a
okay.
2d6.
Let me make an argument here.
Okay.
Valerian is a construction worker. He has a different sort of knowledge about why it's weird to build a bunker in the middle of a cornfield.
That's actually a good point. Go ahead and roll Valerian with proficiency.
I don't know how to do that. Somebody else do it.
Yeah, let's see. No, shift double click. And skill.
Like, they both have a pretty good, ability to go, yeah, that is weird. You're right.
Okay. So
Everyone has the ability to say that.
you have to get you obviously you're approaching it. If I'm narrating something you wouldn't do, tell me, but I'm assuming you're approaching it. And as you get it closer, Valerian is remarking on the construction. Says that the bunker itself is very old. There's certain weathering patterns on it that he can account for, and that it wasn't made to. It wasn't coated or treated to last for centuries, as most bunkers are. It probably will, but it wasn't prepared that way. He also is able to remark that the corn is definitely an afterthought. That this is just where a field of corn was grown, and he's guessing at this point, but says, the curve of the growing pattern here. I think they just kind of pulled a tractor around it. He's like I said, he's definitely guessing there, but he thinks that the bunker came first, and then somebody decided to farm this land.
Okay. It was getting hard to escape that conclusion. That's fair. That's still strange, but I guess we don't really have a choice but to go have a look, do we?
Let's see. You do pass by one of the ATVs on an indirect approach to the bunker entrance, and it's easy for anyone of military mind, including Valerian, to note that these look more like prison transport vehicles than military soldier transport vehicles.
Oh, Big Bus was right.
They've got the panel between the driver cab and the back, and on closer inspections, you can even see that there are shackles bolted into the walls.
Okay. Something did not go to the locals' plan here. I still don't know what, but it's clear that something didn't, because this just doesn't make sense as the outcome of something they were planning for. This whole situation.
Maybe they were expecting more, I don't know, buy-in from people. More
Definitely possible.
complacency.
It's going to be hard to tell without investigating more, but something isn't right here.
The entrance to the bunker looks like a standard fortified military door. And it does have some electronics hidden behind a panel. They appear to be communication based.
Did we not bring anybody who can do anything with that?
What kind of panel is it?
Didn't we bring Acid on the mission for this sort of circumstance?
What are we talking about? The door?
Hacking military technology, specifically. Well, broadly. The door, specifically.
Do you want Acid with you on the away team?
I feel like that would probably have
we
made more
should
sense than leaving us behind.
We should have a programmer, yes.
Okay. I don't mind
That
that.
is an important point.
Are you asking Acid to look at that panel, and what do you want her to do with it?
I mean, if it's just breaking in, that's something technically I might be able to finagle, but...
Oh, well, I've got a question. If we were to power this on, would you be able to see the last time, like, it functioned? Like, the last time it opened up? So that way we have a better time frame of when people were transported, because we know they've been offline for a week or so.
I don't think there's a way to find that out without turning it on. It's a good question.
No, but that's why I said if we were to turn it on.
Yeah, sort of walks up to the panel, and it's not hidden by any stretch. It's just protected from the elements essentially. And she slides it up, and the electronics underneath light up. There's a keypad, a little screen. Looks back, says the obvious. It's already powered.
Oh, nice.
We think this bunker is near where the distress signal came from.
Yes, you do.
Is there any sign of something that might have been, I don't know, able to send a distress signal out here on the exterior? Like a big damn antenna.
Well, peering around the this bunker entrance, there does appear to be an antenna. It's not a big damn antenna, but there is something on top that appears capable of transmitting long-distance signal.
I suppose all it's got to do is send up to the satellite, and then satellite will just relay the message on.
Yes. At least that's one way you could handle the problem. Is there any way to trace, say, I don't know, the feed line for that antenna to somewhere? I'm guessing it goes into the bunker, but we can hope that maybe the equipment's outside.
Yeah. I think Acid and Amaya could probably combine their efforts and tools toward that. Nox, why don't you go ahead?
Ultimately, we're opening the door, but we can look to see if there's anything else, you know?
Sure. Nox, go ahead and give me a fix check with Amaya. Okay. So, with a +1 from Acid, Amaya and Acid are able to discern that, one, this communications technology is more advanced than they've expected. It's more advanced than anything that's in custom common use out in the galaxy. It looks... It looks designed more for penetrative communication than any kind of speed or anything, since communication is already pretty fast. But if Amaya and Acid put some disparate pieces together, this communication tech may have been developed for the ease of transmitting signals through hundreds of miles of Earth probably for the condensers buried deep within.
Out of character.
You gonna radio me?
That's going to have to be some real high-tech shit.
Yeah, it is.
Like real high-tech shit. Anyway.
Like, fuck your physics type high tech.
Yes, that's what I'm going for, in fact. It is the kind of technology that if you can get more than just bits and pieces of it, you may be able to get a bonus for it.
It's almost as if that's what, like, TL4/5 is for.
I desperately want to go into it, but I'm not going to.
Thank you. To the original question, however, yes, you're right. It is just going into the bunker.
Yeah, okay. So we got to open that door.
One additional detail that you probably didn't earn with an 8, but I'll give it to you, is that
Wow.
there's been no signal coming from reaching the processor at the at this antenna level for about a week. Or sorry,
You are killing me right now.
not about
Anyway.
a week. Since the date that David actually sent that message to Raza, so farther back than a week, about 5 weeks.
All right, I've developed a theory.
I'd love to hear it.
Whatever is in this bunker, it was here to keep an eye on what was going on the planet.
That-
The planet as a whole, or
Yep.
and you think we just have like? I'm trying to remember. Does this one line up with the condenser location? It does, right?
Ish. It's about 3 kilometers away from a condenser.
Oh.
The condenser is deeper into the city.
Still, we need to open it regardless, but that's the theory I'm working on.
Okay. Well, how do you want to open it? Do you want to try and break your way in? Are you trying to hack in? What do you want to do?
Well, if we were to... I think we should try and hack in first, because if we were to, try and force our way in, it's going to trip off whatever it is anyway.
Sure. In fact, let's say, I don't know, look in the ATVs for discarded access cards or anything. It seems unlikely, but that means that we're doing something while acid works other than standing here like goons.
Sounds good.
I feel like I'm good at standing here like you're doing that.
Someone go ahead and make me a wisdom notice check. Preferably the best of you.
Me, kind of, except I don't have really wisdom bonus or,
Do you want intelligence instead?
No, because that's not any better. If I can do a dexterity.
This is not a deck check. And then someone else go ahead and give me a skilled check or proficient check from acid.
I'm not cursed anymore.
Yay.
Job.
And
So how
Aura?
do I make the NPCs roll things?
Might be time for you to learn that, yeah. So hold shift and double click on Acid's token to bring up the character sheet real easy.
Oh, this seems too hard. Nope.
That's just the easiest way. I mean, you could also go to the journal and pull them up that way. Just
Yeah,
like
that
pull up
actually
your
does not
character.
appear to be working, so now we have a different problem.
Do we have control of acid? I wonder.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, no, actually something's up with my mouse. Okay, that's fun.
Oh. It was your fault all along.
Certainly in this instance. Okay, there we go. Looks like the middle button was jammed in.
Yeah.
Okay, character sheet. Now click on the thingy.
Yep, go ahead and click on skill. It should be the +1 over there.
Yep.
and it'll ask
Skill
you
name
if
is
they're.
skill. Okay, great.
That's fine. You can rename that if you want.
Yeah.
But
If you
click
type
OK.
something else in, that's just what it'll
Yep.
say. It'll say
Proficient
when you
is
roll.
yes. Modifier is 0.
Modifier is 0.
Done.
Okay.
I did the thing.
Huh. Oh, because acid doesn't have a name on that part of the sheet. Fixed. Alright.
I can't forgive you for overlooking that detail.
Well, I didn't overlook that detail. I just, her name is Acid. It melted away.
Oh.
Archibald and crew, the not goon squad searching the ATVs. You do not find any kind of access cards or identification. You find, what look like driver registrations in glove boxes, Windex wipes in the glove boxes, and some prisoner restraint and control tools and devices, but no access cards and no ID other than those registrations. Acid, over at the control panel, takes a few minutes and is able to access the door controls. Pull up the hacking section here so I can give you exact data here.
Subvert system.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Unless we just want to sabotage it.
I think sabotage makes it more obvious that you've done it.
Wow.
Like it automatically alerts, I think.
It'll be
Yeah.
pretty obvious once we open the door. If there was someone watching. Subvert would be the way I see it, sabotage should be like, forcing the door open, versus subverting would be like seizing control of the door so you can open and close it at will.
Yeah.
Sabotage is easier.
Acid has taken control of the system here. And she does say that we're under a little bit of a time crunch here, as she has encountered some anti-hacking defensive mechanisms that she'll need someone to place a line shunt deeper within, basically on the other side of these doors, if you want her to retain control.
Oh,
Is
let's get inside.
there an override of some kind for the door?
That's what she's done here.
No. A physical device inside the door that overrides the larger door controls.
A physical device. You could certainly try and do that with a fix check.
Well,
Do
we
we
could just
have
leave
a
this
line
door
shunt?
open behind us in case we need to leave. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but how?
if you don't do something to physically jam the doors, and you take too long, then Acid's hack is going to get undone, and she'll lose control of the doors. Put in mechanical terms, you've got 1d4 plus 3 minutes to do whatever you want with these doors before she can no longer control them.
Bigger the doors.
They're a little bit larger than human size.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just jam them open from here now that she's gotten them there.
Yeah.
That way they can't close behind us. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Do we have
Yeah,
line
that's where
shunts?
we gotta go.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll try a line shot thing too, but yeah, it'd be good to have a backup.
Yeah, I was asking if we have them.
But
Yes, you do. Yeah, we'll say that Acid has 10 on her, just to be easy about it.
it's not like we've had to pass through customs or anything.
Right.
Okay, so let's jam the door open.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Acid opens them, and you can begin working to jam those doors open. It is still going to be a fixed check. Did you want to place that line shunt anyways?
Might as well.
Unless there's any issues, thus how far in does the line shut need to be?
She says it only needs to be about 4 meters in. It's not very far at all. But it is
we'll slide it in
downstairs
just in
into the
case.
dark.
I mean, barring the the killer lasers that when we step in are gonna chop
Yeah,
us to
just
bits.
jam the door open and we can worry about the line shunt once we see what's inside.
Just to tell you mechanically, if jamming the doors open takes that 5 minutes and her hack lapses, she will have to re-roll it.
So let's just put a line shunt in.
Yeah.
Amaya's gonna go get a line shunt to put it in.
I guess we have a 10-foot pole to make sure there's nothing that's gonna cut us to pieces.
We're spending way too much time on a fucking door.
Yeah,
We just replace the line shunt. It
Okay.
happens.
100 credits.
Unless
Look,
it's
last time I opened a bunker door with Dexter, there were very dangerous defenses involved.
It's 100
And there may
credits
be
for line
now,
shunt.
but
Invisible
use them.
laser kill walls.
one way or another, there's only two options. Let's do one of them, please.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
going to
place
rush
the
you
line
through
shunt.
this decision here, so give time to consider what you want to do.
Yeah.
If it is placed in the line shunt, then
I think we will be placing the line shut. We just need to figure out
Yeah.
how we approach that.
so
the,
yes.
Yeah.
Go through the door.
How does I believe Nox said that Amaya was taking it in?
Amaya's just going to go and place a line shunt.
Okay. Going through the doors after Acid has opened them, Amaya finds herself faced with stairs down into complete pitch black. Obviously not an issue as you've got Visilinks and also lights on Visilinks, because that detail wasn't forgotten. And 4 meters down at Acid's direction is still stairs going down into darkness. Maya is able
But
to
we can
place
place the line shunt.
Maya places the line shunt, and Acid checks. It says that she now has these doors, as well as some deeper doors within, under her control until that line shunt is, lost for whatever reason.
Now we can break the door.
Too easy.
Really? It looked pretty hard from my side. Do you reckon you could hack in?
Well, I'm not talking about the hacking part. I'm just talking about I was expecting there to be, I don't know, lasers or something.
I figured that'd be, in the hands of the people transporting these people.
Shrug.
Only one way to find out. Izzy goes down the stairs.
Did you still want to physically block those doors?
If somebody's going to do it out of the 8 people here, they can do it now. I'm going inside.
Okay. Izia comes down the stairs and joins Amaya. Does Amaya go with Izia?
Yeah.
Okay. Who else is going down the stairs with them?
I reckon Archibald is. I'm no good at stopping up the door.
Alright. Let's put you guys on the left side. Riley's going with you. Amaya.
Yeah, okay. Here's a very simple plan. We leave Valerian, the guy who has already proven he knows how to break doors, here to jam the door open and catch up with us when he can.
Okay.
Since we don't expect to be in here super long.
What are the doors made of?
Door material. Metal.
Is it metal?
Concrete.
Okay, fine. Oh, just come with us. Marcus will use thermokinesis to melt the door so it just literally sticks itself open.
They are
Okay, great.
actually, I believe, too thick for that.
What, to melt?
Let me take a look at that, because I remember noting that they're too fortified for normal telekinesis to jam up. I didn't even think about thermokinesis, so let me look at that real quick.
Yeah, no. Are you thinking of manipulation? I'm not high enough
I
level
mean,
for
it
that.
does.
Right.
It does kind of have the, can affect objects larger than you could lift.
Yeah. No, this
But
is.
it's kind of weird when you think. Like, technically, probably the door, if it was not attached to the building, would be able to be affected. But does it
800 kilos
become?
is what I can affect, so I'm just trying to literally melt a portion of the door so it can't come down.
Is it
That's
like a
not possible?
sliding
Oh,
door,
well.
like an electronically sliding door?
We can use the thermokinesis, and no, it's not an electronically sliding door. We can use the thermokinesis in conjunction with other physical means to effectively block the door. Marcus can't affect the door or the mechanisms of it, but that's not to say he can't use thermokinesis to act as a much faster welding torch
That's
on,
literally what
some
it's
other
meant for,
scrap
just-
that you put to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get a either fix or a skill check from Valerian, or if you'd like, go ahead and roll your telekinesis skill check just to get everything slotted in there and set.
I don't assist.
That is much lower than I expected from you.
How dare you?
Yeah, it seems like it'll hold.
Marcus is
That's-
happy. Marcus walks on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Our healing's done.
the four of you that are descending the stairs. The stairs don't descend in this direction forever. That would be a huge health hazard. No, there's after quite some time, there's a double back, and then it doubles back again, much quicker. And about 100 meters down. I'm not good with distances. We'll just call it 50 to 100 meters down. You come to a square or cubicle room that has a hatch going down, human-sized hatch going down, and a control panel on the side of the wall. The control panel is dimly lit and appears to have activated its dim lighting, as well as some dim lighting throughout the room as when you entered it. What do you want to do here?
This is
I
the
did,
only room that
uh,
opens up off the stairs?
Yes, it is.
That's weird too. Said there's a button for the hatch?
There's a control panel on the wall nearby.
Great. Is it on?
It is.
Good. Let's try to get this thing open.
Okay. Valerian. Oops, you don't have Valerian with you. Anybody here speak Russian?
We don't have Valerian with us. Why? Because we're going to have to
Because-
wait for him if we don't.
Yeah, you just
Because
have to wait
we
for.
started going down because he was working on getting the door
Mhm.
stuck open with Marcus.
Is the goal to spend all session in this hallway?
If
Well,
you
I
would
think-
like to.
I think there's just a delay. I think there's just a delay while we're waiting for Valerian, and it's
Okie
like,
doke.
This is an
Yeah.
opportunity for the characters to interact. You just come down
go
a.
figure that we left the one person that speaks Russian behind. It's like
So-
it just really goes to figure.
I'm sensing that you don't want to have a roleplay interaction here, so after a few minutes, Valerian and crew above have finished jamming the doors. It went much faster with Marcus's thermokinetic help, and the rest of the crew arrive in the room with you.
Okay, so we can conclude that these people do not believe in icons for actions, so we'll have to find out what the Russian for open is from Valyrian. There's nothing else for the control panel to do, right? It either opens the hatch or it doesn't.
There's more for the control panel to do.
Okay, and what does he say that is, now that we have someone who can read it?
Okay, well, the control panel is also an intercom. It's a communication panel. It's similar to the control panel upstairs, in that the doors could have been hacked from here, and the door can be the hatch can be unlocked and opened. Actually, it's it's on hydraulics and mechanics and stuff. So yes, you can open this hatch door from here.
Okay, but this is also an intercom. Do we want to try the intercom?
Be interesting
Might
to see
as-
if anyone answers.
It would be very interesting. Not necessarily safe, but interesting.
Well, Max is just going to go over any objections.
Doesn't
Nope,
sound
okay.
like so.
Point to none.
Max is just going to go over and hold the intercom down.
Okay.
Greetings.
There's silence for a few seconds, and then some crackle, not necessarily crackle, but that very, very faint static of somebody has pressed a button on the other side, and now you're hearing whatever is going on in the background of them. It's mostly silent, but their voice sounds distant and also Russian. Translated through Valyrian, the other side is basically surprised and says, "Hello, who is this?"
My name's Marcus. Pleasure to meet you.
You're not authorized to be here.
Of course I am. How else would we have got inside?
What are you doing above ground?
Trying to get underground? I thought that was pretty evident, really.
Where is your reporting bunker?
Well, this one, that's why we're here. Otherwise, we've gone to a different bunker.
No.
What do you mean, no? So you're telling me I'd decide to drive out into the middle of a cornfield, go through a door, to then press an intercom just to walk back around? I'm not quite following here.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's what I'm telling you. It doesn't make any sense.
He looks confused.
What can we? Oh, does he have a video on? Here?
Yeah, a video has just flickered on. We'll say that just
Okay.
happened. The video has just flickered on.
Max just kind of like gives a hello.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a charisma talk check?
Yeah, that's more like it. Spew bullshit until they believe you.
And yeah, well, you can you open the door?
Well, no, that's why I'm pressing the intercom.
Can you not?
Yeah, why? Have you locked it as out? Is that why it isn't opening?
Yeah, sorry, we're all full up in here.
Really?
You hear
Which
chatter
you
in the
seem to be
background,
only one
excited
talking,
chatter.
So
Well, sorry, excited chatter starts up in the background. He is turned away and is trying to, in hushed tones, which Valerian can't pick up, talk to someone else. It appears that they think that you're guards that have lost your key card.
So, are we gonna have a problem here?
No problem. No problem.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
But you know I can't open the door, right?
So you're disobeying now. Noted.
Sir.
Do you want to take this any further? I'm loving this right now.
I think it means they literally can't.
He does actually look a little bit. He pales a little bit at the line, the direction this conversation has taken. Shakes his head. No,
So you're going to help let us in then?
no one here has authority to unlock these doors.
Good. That's the right answer.
What?
That was all a test.
What do you mean? Why are you confused
good.
right now? You wouldn't let anyone in, would you?
Good,
That'd go
good
against
test,
the whole
sir.
point of this.
Good test.
I know.
We'll. Hang on.
I don't know where we go from here.
No, but seriously though, we do need to get in.
I'll summon Vadim to meet you,
Appreciate it.
and seems to think that business is concluded. And it sits back and takes in a deep breath. A little more chatter on their side. They start joking about how scared Eric has gotten. Start teasing about did you pee yourself? Haha, good joke.
So Eric, how long are we going to be waiting here?
Vadim will be in the hallway to greet you, sir.
Oh, Vadim. I heard the Dean and was
Oh.
like extremely confused for a minute. Okay, good.
Vadim.
Wait, it's not Dean?
It's not
Dean
Dean.
Pelton is coming, guys. He'll have a great one.
I hope this
That
doesn't
would be
awaken anything in me.
fantastic.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
Well, we'll be waiting. Like we always do.
Waiting, sir? No, sir. He'll be in the tunnel. Meet him there.
So we've got to go to him. Oh, Jesus.
Yes,
Marcus
yes, sir.
just sighs and turns around. Why have we got to do everything here?
What is your rank, Mr. Marcus? You can
Mr.
just
Marcus?
use regular military ranks. I don't know others.
Mr. Marcus is my father.
Yeah, I was going to say. Look, we've got to go speak to Vadim, because obviously you can't help us out here. So, we'll be back. Thanks for whatever this was.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Cut the communication.
Yeah. Marcus just gives out a... and then cuts the communication. Like, you know, he inconvenienced me.
We're sure the intercom is off?
Valerian checks and nods. It is off.
Why didn't they think it was weird that you don't speak Russian? No, really, though.
I don't know.
That's not good.
Because maybe, you know, Dexter maybe forgot about that.
No, that was all being translated by
Okay,
Valerian.
Okay, good.
Say,
That's not good.
Why? I could understand them. Could I not?
He said Valerian was
yeah.
translating their half
Okay,
of the
okay.
conversation.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I should have made that clearer that this is all being translated by Valerian.
Okay, okay.
Including what Marcus said?
Mhm.
Right, so yeah, the question becomes, why didn't they think it was weird that he needed a translator?
Maybe because I'm that high ranking that, you know, I've been
That you
called in.
don't know how to talk?
No, that I've been called in and that I've got my own translator with me. Who else can say they rock around with their own translator?
Everything else we know about this planet points to it being a linguistic monoculture.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but
So it's very weird that they don't find somebody who doesn't speak their language strange. and not only that, immediately assume they're in a position of authority. That's weird.
Oh yeah, there's no denying that, but let's go meet this Vadim. Either it's a death robot, and we're gonna have some fun here, or it's an actual person.
Sure. Where exactly are we meeting him?
Back where we came from. Apparently in the corridor.
Acid shakes her head, says,
The-
tunnel.
Which
So
there was no other.
I
there was
point
nothing
at the
that really
hatch.
fits tunnel here. Was there?
Yeah, I point at the hatch.
So that sounds to me like there's another way in.
No, it sounds to me like the door they're not allowed to open is further down.
Acid goes to the console and applies her metatool and another line shunt, just for safekeeping, and taps some things through her data slab, and then the hatch opens.
See, I don't know how the hell you do that. That's just cool. You just gotta like get through all the doors.
There's one more door that I have access to.
Oh, that's good.
Probably the tunnel door.
I assume the hatch reveals a ladder,
It does,
as hatches often do.
as
I
hatches
go down
often
the
do.
ladder.
Okay. You descend initially into darkness again, but as the light from this dimly lit room above begins receding, lights in tunnel below you come on. They're brighter and well, brighter than they need to be for the size of the tunnel, which is about 3 men wide. And this tunnel is fairly short, but as you can tell, it's intended as, well, perhaps intended as a last stand, as there are, there's another fortified door at the end, and those nooks and crannies where defenders could fire at people coming down a ladder.
Okay. Do I see anybody who might plausibly be Vadim in here?
There's nobody that might plausibly be Vadim in here. But there's
Okay.
activity. Well, no, there would be no window in that. There would be a window in that door. Duh. It is a security door that you need to be able to see through the tunnel. There is activity in the room beyond that door.
I approach the door and look through the window.
Through the window, you see a handful of men and women in the same exact attire as Eric on the intercom above, motioning and gesturing towards and talking about the door and the tunnel beyond. And as you approach it, you can't hear anything that they're saying, but they're clearly looking at you and discussing you.
That's fine. If I can see them, I can make telepathic contact with one of them,
You can.
which I do. Now I speak Russian.
Very good. That's gonna help.
Yeah. I could have just made it with Valerian, I guess, but we'll do this way.
Yeah, that would have worked too.
Gotta make
Yeah.
things interesting, you know.
It didn't seem like it was going to matter, and I would rather have held on to the effort. But yeah. Okay. So now I understand Russian. I knock on the window.
Okay. It's the kind of window that even being right next to it, you're not going to be able to hear them, and they're not going to be able to hear you.
No, but they'll see that I'm knocking.
They do see that. And they usher the small ones away.
I hold up my wrist and I tap meaningfully on my wrist.
Ha! Joke's on you. They wear their watches on the other wrists on Xander.
See, that's how we know we're Americans. We're spies.
No, I'm kidding.
If you make me roll telepathic contact to find out how to plausibly mime impatience to these people, I will do it.
I am not making you roll that. They're getting the picture and sending away the small, the fragile, and the old. In fact, most of them are filtering out. Just a couple of the more curious and brave appear to be sticking around. In time, the rest of you make it down the ladder and join Izia at the door. And you've got another small waiting period. Does anybody wants to interact in this time that you're waiting for, apparently, for Vadim?
I
Or
probably am doing some telepath stuff here, but we'll get back to that in a minute.
okay. Alternately, because Acid does have this place line shunted up, or at least these security doors line shunted up, she could just open this door if you wanted. This is the last door that she has access to, she says.
No, I think we want to wait for Vadim. Let them think we can't open the door.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose it'd be the right ace up the sleeve is won't get pissed off. We just open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, this was a whole test and a game. Like we made it out to be.
Riley's getting a little bit anxious, looking at the walls around her. Worse than being on a ship.
I do agree with that. You know, instead of the cold expanse of Earth around you, instead you get the cold expanse of space around you, and nothingness.
If I'm right, young lady, they're going to think you're in charge in a few minutes.
Why me?
I mean,
Because of your friend.
yeah.
Oh. Does he have to show?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out as we go along.
Keep that for the surprise at the end, you know?
As a matter of fact, I think that might be what I'm doing with telepathy.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I want to read whoever in there's mind I managed to connect with surface thoughts and see if he's expecting Vega. Or even just generally, what are they expecting?
Okay. This is the level 2?
Level 2.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's have a random person's mental save.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm pulling up here. Where's my templates? Here we go. Yeah, as expected, their mind does not put up a whole lot of resistance. Rebel. Wait, why did it say rebel? That's not a name anywhere on this sheet. Yeah,
Might be like
anyways.
the
Did you copy a rebel?
I did.
There have been rebels on other planets.
might be like this original stat block.
Yeah, I think that's what's on the token, cause no, the token represents peaceful human. The name of this token is peaceful human. The name of the character card is peaceful human, and the name on the character sheet is human. I have no idea where rebel came from.
We found out it's inner desire. It wants to be a rebel.
I guess so. Yeah, we'll go with that. But yes, this rebel human has put up no token resistance here. And current thoughts. Their current thoughts are they're experiencing a mixture of fear and hope, but most of that hope is being overridden by fear. The strongest source of that fear is that they think that you're a Blue Sunset military team, for lack of a better descriptor for them, that have come to actually purge the hang on a second.
These peaceful humans.
The blind. And the blind is in their brain, in their head, and in their thoughts as kind of a derogatory label that they're giving to themselves. But those are their current thoughts. They think that you are from the military that's come to purge this bunker of the blind. And there's some conflicting, but they put us here kind of thoughts. End GM transmission.
Oh, this is going well.
Does Izya relay any of that? Did we lose Aura?
No, I was making coffee. Out of range.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, no, I will happily pass that on to the others, including the fact that these people are, if not literally rebels, probably not fully on board with the Blue Sunset game plan. That's the military vehicles and the being imprisoned in a bunker and so on.
Well,
And did we know this was no Vega here? Or was there Vega here? Do we remember? Or was that what we had?
You need the ship for that, and you need the ship to be closer for that. Your ship was only able to get about 500 meters of local no Vega-ness.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well then.
500 meters sounds weird. Half a kilometer sounds longer.
It is the same distance.
I know.
It's also very low, but there's metaspace shenanigans going on here.
Well, the Vega sensors are already a very special thing.
Right, like I said, there's metaspace shenanigans going on here.
well. Want me to try and knock on the door? You know.
No, they're
in my manner?
they're going to open it. They're just not there yet.
All right, all right.
I think we've walked into a bunch of people who were not on board with the plan.
Oh, what,
in
like
which
rebels?
Probably not rebels.
All right.
I have a theory, but we'll see. I don't have enough evidence yet.
Okay. Well, after a few more minutes, a Russian man in a different uniform, this one a military uniform with a combat rifle, enters the room on the other side and approaches the window. Looks out at you and says something, but you can't hear it.
I will also make telepathic contact with him.
Okay. Are you?
I'm not doing anything with it yet. It's just happening for right now.
Okay.
Max is putting on his best odd what am I doing here face.
I mime impatience again.
He looks at Izya and shrugs. He says something in Russian again. Tries to make his mouth movements clearer.
What did he mean to say?
Are you using the level 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we're gonna have to go ahead and let him make a save now.
Yep. Also, I think I found the correct
Although,
peaceful
I will
humor.
point out that level 1 allows me to understand any form of communication made by the target. But I think, knowing what he meant, despite the fact that I can't hear him, might be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe it isn't.
It is. If he were using sign language, you would understand that.
Fair.
His save's exactly the same. All right. At least that one has a word associated with it that I can see on the character sheet.
Yeah, good.
Um,
So what is it he's he's thinking?
well, his thoughts are, who is that? That's not Xandaran military. And what does he think I'm able to do?
Enough
He,
of this.
he
Acid,
he
open the door.
he keeps looping back to the I can't open this door, like as a small side open.
Acid, open the door.
Acid
And this
opens
is-
the door.
Marcus
He
just nods.
slowly, as the door opens slowly, you see him on the other side level his rifle.
I tell him he really doesn't want to do that in Russian.
Should I level my rifle? No, maybe not. I don't think we want to.
If he's not even cleared to open the door, he's not cleared to know why we're here, which is what I tell him.
I don't know who you are.
Yes, that's kind of the point of you not being cleared.
Stay back. How did you open this door?
With the override that is issued to the compliance force.
I wasn't told of any override.
Of course you weren't. Are you part of the compliance force?
No.
Exactly. Put that rifle down.
I can't do that.
I use authority to make him put the rifle down.
Go ahead and put it into chat for me.
Uh-huh. Or at least I try. And if you would rather I roll a lead check to do it, that's fine. But you get where I'm going with this.
Mhm.
Let's see here. That's going to be openly hostile. Is he openly hostile?
He is openly hostile.
Then it won't work. So we'll just have to go ahead and go with the lead plan.
Okay.
I'm going to order him to put the rifle down.
It's going to be very difficult, very high DC.
I understand that.
Go ahead
I'm
and roll.
willing to give it a try, because at least it's
So
better than
great
the
at
alternative
points.
plans.
That was the very
Wow.
high DC.
It turns out if you can read a dude's mind, it's very easy to get him to do what you want. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Yeah. The combination of being able to massage your own words, along with how he's receiving and just kind of pull from him how he expects you should act, is sufficient that he lowers his rifle.
I respect your vigilance, but the fact of the matter is you're no longer an authority here.
Yes, sir. He steps aside.
I'll need to see the records for everybody who's been secured in this shelter.
Yes, sir. Right this way.
Thank you.
He leads the lot of you farther into the bunker. I am not a military person, so I'm simply going to tell you that this bunker is designed with some defensive measures in mind, and leave it at that.
Well, I definitely care, but you wouldn't understand the distinction between collapse the bunker measures and don't let them take the bunker measures, so I guess we can't ask about that.
a combination.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need to be able to open this door. Okay.
He takes you past. He takes you into a large open space where people appear to be mingling, socializing, and you see a small community here. There are doors off to either side of this large, thin, not thin, but longer than it is wide passageway, or open space, and those seem to lead down to longer hallways, and those doors are spaced such that one might think that there are apartments or buildings or storerooms along either side of those offshoot tunnels. He comes to a group a cluster of doors along the side wall of this open space, arranged differently than all the doors leading into tunnels, and takes you into what looks like is probably a central office here. There's uh, a Russian or Xandaran sitting behind a desk, talking to. Sorry, there's a waiting room first of all, where a handful of Xandarans in the plain gray outfits that you've seen the others in are waiting, and he passes through that, bringing all of you along. Through to a room where there is another Xandaran, military man, who is sitting and talking to two of these gray uniformed Xandarans. Looks like
Does he look more important than them? Does he look like he's in charge, maybe?
the person that's talking to the grays.
Yeah.
No, it looks like the person that you're talking to outranks him. If the insignia on uniforms are anything to go
Just let me know if anybody higher ranking shows up then. That's fine.
by. Okay, will do. And he takes you past that. From the brief snippet of conversation you got there, is basically just sounding like tenants complaining about a plumbing issue. And goes into a long, large records room with actual physical files and records.
I see you're in compliance with the low power filing system directives.
Yes, sir. We also have everything stored electronically here.
So much the better. Please give it to my assistant. And I point at Acid.
He
Oh no.
does a double take as if seeing her for the first time. He clearly saw her earlier, but that was in low lighting, and he has striven to not look back this entire time, except just a glance to make sure that you're still following him. He is quite taken aback by her blue skin and bald head. Yes, sir. Acid smirks.
Remember,
So just a usual expression.
blue sunset.
Her usual expression, to be fair, is usually more of a sneer than a smirk. So
Yeah.
it's more of a... No, there's not even a K in there at all. He digs through a data slab connected to a local PC by a hard cable, and then offers the cable to her.
Were there any difficulties in completing the procedure for stocking this facility?
He hands the cable to her, says, "No, sir."
Everything went according to plans? The vehicles have been disposed of?
Those who came voluntarily, sir, their vehicles were secured in a garage.
All is in readiness then for the advent of the sunrise.
Sunrise, sir?
Ah, pardon me. Perhaps you're not clear to know of that as well.
I will erase it from my memory, sir.
Know only that it is of the utmost importance that we find all centers in compliance with the plan.
Second here. And he says, Bunker X358 is in compliance and ready to release in 2 years. He says a length of time that roughly corresponds to exactly 3 years. Well, not roughly. It corresponds to exactly 3 years from the condenser start date.
It was about a week ago.
Uh-huh.
Fail-safe measures are in place for if the procedure takes longer than expected.
I'm not clear to know anything about that, sir.
Understood. Good answer. We'll need to take a census.
Izzy still has a connection to him, right?
Yeah, sure.
Izzy is poking and prodding a lot at his curiosity. It is growing.
That's okay. If he wants to ask questions, he can. He may not like the answers he gets. We'll need to take a brief census of the bunker. What was it? I'm sorry.
X358.
Yes, X358. We'll need to take a brief census of the bunker. We have several of these to accomplish and need to visit X357, of course, shortly.
Yeah, of course, sir.
Please put the facility at our disposal. Several of us are going to require access to various systems, but primarily, I point at Riley, defer to anything this one needs.
Her eyes go wide. What? I mean...
Did I stutter?
Yes, sir?
Her.
Sir. She looks at the Xandarian.
I will switch back to, let's see, they showed some recognition of English. Okay, I guess I will go ahead and make telepathic contact with Archibald. Sure, why not?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and then...
I'm just sitting here being quiet, because I'm...
Yep. Then, using, what have I got? Transmit thought, so that this guy definitely doesn't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Archibald that I think I've got them fooled. I told them we need to do a census. Go look around. Split up. Act like Riley's in charge.
Right. I guess I can. It's two-way communication, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Got it. I can't believe this is working.
Now, remind me again. What's this guy's rank? Corporal, let's say. Sure.
Yeah,
Corporal.
let's say that.
Remind me again, Corporal. This facility is unusual in that not all of the inductees we'll go with are project compliant, correct?
I'm going to go a little bit out of character for this. He explains, reminds Izya that this and the entire X series of bunkers are excuse me, GM brain fart, were designed to house the blind, those who acted against the Blue Sunset Project in some way.
Okay, so I pass that along to Archibald as he's explaining it.
Like blind?
That's what they call themselves. That's what they call themselves. These are the people who weren't going along with it.
Well, that's not what I don't think that's what they call themselves so much as that's what the official government called the people that weren't playing along with it.
Perhaps so. Either way.
Anyways, yes.
See what you can find out from these people if you can find them without a soldier around.
Sure.
So there's one small hurdle in everything that's occurred so far. And that's that Acid can't plug the cord that was handed to her into her data slab to receive this data.
Okay.
And she tells Izya in Spacer that even if she were, it is going to be a different data format than it is a different data format than is interpretable on her data slab.
I will turn to Acid away from Vadim and say very quietly, I'm running out of tricks here. That's on you.
Get him to put it on a storage card or some sort. I'll figure it out later.
Vadim?
Yes, sir.
I've just been informed that this inspection may have to be quicker than anticipated. Please place all of your documentation onto a storage drive and pass it to my assistant.
The blue one.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I understand that this whole situation may seem unusual to you.
Yes, I guess I never did confirm that. Yes, Archibald will be I guess walking off and
Okay.
starting the census with Riley.
Hopefully with Valerian, too.
Yeah, you'll need Valerian too. There's a language barrier here.
Yeah,
Wherever
that's
Riley
true.
goes, Max is going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to, one way or another, do my best to keep Acid with me on account of I'm no good in a fight, and I am literally trying to bluff a bunch of soldiers.
Amaya will stay with you then.
Okay.
Okay, well, I can read Russian at the moment, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So what have we seen down here? Are there more of these do your part for the project poster type of things, or is there a different sort of industrial propaganda going on down here?
If there were any, which there probably were, they appear to have been taken down. The most prominent thing that Izia sees is, at least in this office, is a countdown, which is 2 years and the equivalent of 2 years and 51 weeks away.
Mhm.
Let's see, Oogie will go with the other team because he is also security. And there wouldn't really be much else, but tell me if there's anything of interest that you're looking for.
So many things, but I mean, of the most immediate interest, I mean, how restive do the people they've interned here seem?
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were looking at just what was on the walls there.
That's for a start, sure. I mean, I'm basically Izia wants to get a sense of whether everything is going to according to plan here, whether people are getting fed up with being locked up, that kind of thing.
Okay. Based on the state of these offices that you're in right now, and the smallish number of soldiers, and the fact that they apparently can't open those doors from inside, things seem to be under control. Some of the reporting that Vadim gives to Izya is death count.
Right. Yep. I'm going to ask him about statistics, supplies, that
Yep.
kind of thing. I just try to keep him talking about the kind of things I imagine a compliance officer would want to know about for as
Sure.
long as possible.
Izzy finds out that within the first week, let's see, within the first week, there of opening the facility, there were some who attempted to escape as more were brought in, but that's where the majority of their deaths came from. They tallied up about 50 or 60, 30 of them then, and a few more over the next few weeks. But they're maintaining a stable population now.
So they've been jamming people down here for a while then. They didn't just, start immediately before they initiated the project. Okay.
Right.
That's interesting by itself.
They
Makes
look
sense
like
for the
they.
people that weren't willing.
Yeah.
Right. It's not surprising, but it's interesting.
They look like they had basically a 1 month lead up to the actual condenser start date.
Yeah, and the expectation is that they'll stay down here for 3 years, which means they must have a fairly enormous amount of supplies somewhere.
They do. They've also got hydroponics and other self-sustaining resources. They've got enough to keep the approximately 7,500 people in this bunker alive for 3 years. And not frozen. That's also important. It's actually kind of warm down here.
Okay. You should probably cut to the others for a bit while I try to think of what other things we might want to know from this guy.
Sounds good. Well, Archibald is apparently following Riley. What were the instructions given to this team?
We're doing a head count essentially.
They're doing a census. We swear. I didn't give him. They didn't
Yeah.
give him a lot of details about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess getting a head count, I mean, in general, is not bad for us either. But also, I guess gauging sentiment, and I guess
Right. Yeah. It's act
figuring
like you're here to make sure they're following the plan, even though we don't know what the plan is.
and even though these people that are being kept here presumably not willing participants in the plan, right?
Maybe we
knows?
maybe we make a audible after we know what's going on down here. I don't know, but for the moment, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, Riley is leading her band of subordinates.
Mhm.
And she looks back at Archibald. What do I do? But just talk to them? I don't understand them.
Oh, just occasionally point at someone. It'll scare
we
them
have-
a little bit.
Well, we have
Oh.
Valerian.
Okay. She points at a group that appear to be playing a game of football. Proper football, not with that lopsided ball.
They're playing football, not hand egg.
Oh,
Yeah.
that took, yeah. It took me a second to figure out what you meant by that.
Damn, they people having
Footy
fun are more cooperative, right?
Yeah. Especially if they
Okay.
think that we're the people that are causing them to not have fun.
Oh, so should I get someone else?
No,
No.
this is fine.
Okay. The six of you head on over there, and the group that you're approaching, about six or seven of them. One of them picks up the ball and looks over at you as others have stopped participating in kicking it around. And they kind of they cluster up, and kind of just accept that you're approaching them. Valerian makes introductions, says that we're doing a census, and
What's the guard situation here, by the way?
roll
Like,
me a shoot wisdom check.
Like notice wisdom
Notice wisdom will work too if that's better for you.
versus just straight wisdom, yeah.
Mhm.
E.
Oh, we didn't hear a skill for the original.
Oh,
Yeah, you
I'm
just
sorry.
said
I said
wisdom.
It was a
I initially
straight
said
wisdom
shoot
check.
wisdom.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, I guess that would have been better, but that's okay.
I'll take it. Your shoot is 2.
Yeah, my shoot's 2 versus
Okay.
wisdom's 1. That's the only difference.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I'll treat that as an 11. The guard situation as Izya peers around, not Izya, Archibald peers around, is fairly minimal. They don't appear to be participating in whatever this is in this open area, whatever passes for daily life.
But they're not really, strictly controlling everything.
They're not strictly controlling everything. No. If this open area is an indication of how many guards there are for 7,500 people, which I believe Izya did get. You guys were there for that figure. Then the guards are someone who could are a group of force that could easily be overpowered. Just with a crush of bodies. There would be
Right.
some losses.
Yeah. Basically a very precarious situation for the presumed jailers.
Oh yes, yeah.
The jailers are helped by the fact that the door literally won't open for them.
Oh, I guess that's a. I mean,
So
is it a
the,
point though?
The jailers are gone now; they're just stuck there.
These jailers are also trapped here.
That's just Okay.
And one of the group that you're approaching, one holding the ball, steps forward. And says, "Where are you guys?" They all have Russian accents. Just pretend that I'm speaking in a Russian accent.
Yes, but of course. I suppose we just keep
Do
up
they
the
have
story
Russian accents, or do they just speak Russian? I'm
They
just saying.
have Russian accents.
in Russian.
Yeah. They speak Russian with a Xandaran accent. How's that?
Better.
But would you recognize it as Antaran accents?
They definitely don't sound quite like the folks from Union.
Oh, does that mean that Valerian and I now have different accents?
You're speaking with their accent. Valerian is speaking with a
So,
Lithian
yes.
accent.
Important to know.
So, yeah. This boy, maybe 17 years old, with the football, asks who you are.
Let's keep up with the pretenses that Asia has established. Oh wait, I guess the problem with that is that no, I'm overthinking it. It's fine. Keep up the pretenses of the compliance force.
Yeah.
We're doing a head count. Insofar, provide. Yeah, for now, until we figure out more. The question is, do we just go ahead and start inside a rebellion now or later, right?
Yes, you can make that decision after speaking with people. You don't have to start immediately in on the rebellion.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess Valerian answers that you're doing a census.
Yep, I guess so.
Okay. And you're talking to this group of people. They think you're doing a census. What kind of information are you trying to get from them?
I suppose a census was going to get like statistics like age groups and everything, right?
Okay.
So, like age, and then so these people were unwilling or essentially prisoner. I guess if we can, like the reason that they've been placed here, right?
Why didn't you support the project? Seems like the kind of
Yes.
question that somebody would ask here. Yes.
Right. Yes. Basically confirming that. Yeah.
But the other demographic stuff would probably be a good place to start.
Yeah. I start off with that, and then like kind of have that as like a final, like the final question.
Okay. So the demographic stuff is kind of what you would expect from if you just like split a city into a section and moved those people into a spreadsheet. There's kids here, there's teenagers, there's old, there's more middle class than rich, so that's a deviation.
Deviants.
Right. And most of the people that you're talking to here, this group, and we'll include later groups that you speak with, the youngers don't really know why they're here. Some of them will say, well, my dad got in some trouble with the government, but he says it's okay because this is the same bunker that we would be in anyways. It seems like some of them, it seems like some of them have been lied to, that they're not here because of any specific reason, and that this is the same as other bunkers. The older folk you talk to, who, when asked why they didn't support the project, clam up. They're not willing to talk to you about that.
Understandable.
Not without some prodding, at least.
Yeah. Or not until we start, saying, hey, we're all full of shit, start a rebellion.
Right.
But yeah, posing as the authorities. It makes sense.
The most common response you get is that they've uh, they've been tried and sentenced, basically. Even if there was no trial, they are considering that them being in this bunker is answer enough for why they didn't support, what they did to not support, and any of those questions. It's like asking a murderer what happened after you murdered that person while they're in jail.
Yeah. Okay. Can I guess, make notes if any of that seem like particularly belligerent, like, and but basically posing as like flagging them for like interview later. If,
Yeah.
You know.
There definitely are some that are more belligerent, and some that express that belligerence by just snubbing you and walking away.
Cool. So I'll like I guess, make a note in my compad, very obviously.
These people have shockingly little fear of the military for people who've been imprisoned in a bunker due to some kind of enormous project.
What are they gonna do? Imprison them for the rest of their lives?
I mean, I hear you, but at the same
Yeah.
time,
Yeah, I know. It can always be worse.
right.
Do you want to try and press on any of those that, those that didn't just walk away from you?
Well, I want to be able to talk to them without the out of earshot of any of the actual guards at some point. Whether that be with their, approval as, like, with their knowledge of it.
So
Like,
the guards around here are paying attention to you as a curiosity, because you're not dressed like them.
Mhm.
But otherwise appear to be leaving you alone. And
Right.
it probably wouldn't be hard to find somewhere to talk more privately. There are tunnels that lead to. You figured out that those are apartments and storerooms and distribution centers down in those tunnels.
Yeah. Now, here's a question, though, because I don't know if Archibald's going to be the best one to bring up the idea of, I guess, a rebellion if we do go that route, because I don't know if that's really, a given at this point. So I don't know if Archibald's going to be able to press that just yet. So for now, I'm just making note of them.
Okay. In between groups, Riley is getting more and more down. She's growing increasingly sluggish and doesn't want to point at anybody else until you're like, who do you want to talk to next, Riley? She is picking out, fairly interesting groups. Any groups that you've spoken with, or any people that you've spoken with that she hasn't pointed out, either because they were nearby or they passed you, have been generally uninteresting. She does seem to be pretty good at picking out the interesting flavors.
Uh-huh.
But she's becoming more and more reluctant to do so. And we are right at 1 o'clock, so let's leave the question of what else do you want to know about these people or do with them to ponder over 15 minutes. Or just go get tea, or whatever. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go back into frame. And we'll leave the group there with Riley's growing reluctance, and flip it back over to Izya, Amaya, Acid, and Vadim.
So I'll just hear the dean.
Oh, Colonel Vadim. Tell me
They
about your transmitter.
they did not tell you, sir. We were required to shut it down.
You were required to shut it down. Perfect.
Yes, under threat of collapse.
I see. And you received the necessary countersign and authorization?
There is no countersign for this.
Right answer. Explain directive collapse to me, as you understand it.
Well, sir, as you know, these bunkers are stocked with food and air and energy and supplies to last 3 years. If Blue Sunset is not this hesitation is his, not mine.
Of course.
Is not successful?
Yes, if it does not yield what the
You are permitted to
construction.
express the possibility here.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, all of our best people have worked for many lifetimes on making sure that it will be.
Then you know that I am also one that they label as blind, then.
Yes. There is a reason that it is you who is being visited by the Compliance Division, after all.
Of course, I suspected that. Oh. It is a mercy measure, sir. That would not want to release this many people out into a frozen landscape with no food and no way to
No,
survive.
that would be unthinkable. So tell me, how did you come to be blind?
He is struggling with that permission to speak freely. But Izzy still has a telepathic contact with him at level 2, I
do.
believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And his thoughts are a tumult of. It was obvious that nobody knew what they were doing. It wasn't going to work. This is a failure of pride. Somebody said it was going to work, and they carried through. Those are the thoughts hidden behind his hesitation.
We live in an uncertain universe. Was it simply that simple for you, or was there some specific event?
What do you mean, sir?
We live in an uncertain universe. Things that shouldn't happen happen all the time. Things that should work don't.
I think you're responding to his thoughts.
He does,
No, I was planning on bringing up the uncertain universe regardless.
Oh,
But
okay.
he does seem a little confused by it, but needless to say that put another set of thoughts into his head, and the possibility that Blue Sunset might just work. At which point according to the propaganda, well, he doesn't consider propaganda specifically. According to the material, they won't need the mercy destruction measures or collapse measures. There's mental imagery of the people within the bunker, familiar faces and friendly feelings toward many of them that just kind of have a smile and disperse into light against a blue-toned background. Very happy for a dystopian thought.
Ultimately, it's not important. I'm simply curious. This is about the last opportunity I'll have to talk to any of you, after all.
Of course, sir.
And who would I tell at this point, other than the rest of compliance?
We want time, sir. We don't... Please don't collapse us.
Presently, I have no intention of doing so.
I hope the project works.
Of course you do. It would be the best outcome for all of us. When you consider the rest of the sector, for example,
The rest of
their
what?
ignorance, their lack of understanding. Imagine if we were like them and had no vision to unite us.
This sector, and he names a few names that sound like cities on this planet.
It occurs to me, did the common people even know?
Well, that's where I'm trying to go here, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no recognition in his thoughts of a greater sector out there.
I'm sorry, perhaps that didn't translate correctly. When you consider the void and all of the other many worlds out there,
He does give a good chuckle at that.
where they have no idea what's coming for us.
Are you saying that there are other people, alien life forms out there?
No, just other human beings.
It's a funny one, sir.
That was not a joke, Vadim. Again, this is among the last times I will have to talk to anybody.
His face
I have
falls.
my own doubts, but unrelated to yours.
There are other people out there.
Indeed.
How far?
Very.
He starts listing stars that must be local to this system. Not local in sector map, but local in the actual universe map.
I am only loosely acquainted with these matters, Colonel. But it is my understanding that out there are other worlds, such as ours, not so dissimilar anyway, where they know nothing of the blue sunset.
How long would it take to reach them? They're light years away.
This is regarded as merely the first step in that larger project.
Blue sunset will connect us all?
It will... I don't fully understand myself. It is the first step. And it may not seem like the first step to you, with your doubt, and with, of course, the many years of work that have gone into it and the deeply complex engineering that has needed to occur. Your doubt is understandable. All of your doubt. I wave my arms very, grandly around.
This is a lot to consider. We've never even heard signal from beyond Bird. And I'm sure Izzy remembers that there have been communications.
Oh yeah, no, that struck me as an important detail, but it's the kind of thing I'm trying to drill down to, so I'm just going to keep drilling.
Okay.
Till we strike oil.
It was judged unimportant that the rest of us know this first step, the blue sunset, was what needed to be accomplished first.
I understand what you were telling me, sir, but it is still difficult to believe when
Then you'll have to wait and see.
you can only see a part of it.
I understand. The woman I said was in charge. Or should I say the young lady that I said was in
Child.
charge. You seemed surprised.
She is a child.
Yes, she is. But she has seen to the other side already.
He
Again,
is speechless.
you'll have to master your own doubt. There's no need for you to believe me.
No,
Coming as
there's
I
a
do.
small growing hope in his mental landscape.
Improbably upon you at this late juncture, but she has seen to the other side already. She is very aware of what awaits over there.
Can we speak with her?
That would be difficult.
Why is that difficult, sir? She's right there.
We have only so much time.
Surely it can't take long.
Well, there's also the fact that she wouldn't be able to answer you.
Is she mute?
No. She's from out there. Some of them do know. They have come here to observe.
Confusion again.
Again, it's all much larger than you might imagine from down here in this bunker, Colonel. For now, if my assistant is finished and I look over at Acid, has she got everything she thinks she needs?
Yeah, Vadim had someone download everything, and it was going to take 10, 15 minutes to get it all onto a little storage chip, but some kind of flash drive. They're not using the same crystal-based structure that the rest of the sector uses, but she nods, says, I'll figure this out.
I believe that I am ready to interview anyone you, Colonel, believe I should interview. The persistence of you people confounds the administration, and at this late juncture, with very little to concern myself with apart from why, I'm curious about it.
The strongest resistors have already been killed.
As I suspected.
Protests in
But
capital city sent a shocking message. Some cities rioted, and we were fortunate here. But even Boris, the local cell leader, of us, rebels, the blind. He was a peaceful man, but he also did not make it.
I'm sorry that it was necessary to do those things, and personally, I wish it hadn't been. But there is a certain urgency to this project, Colonel.
Forgiveness will be earned when it comes to pass.
Quite so.
Sir, if
All right.
you'll excuse me, I've given me much to think about.
Yes, I will see if I can locate my Confederates. Thank you.
Yes.
We go look for everybody else.
All right. Before
I
you
immediately transmit. There is absolutely no reason you should try to get these people to turn on the guards. They don't want to be here either.
Just putting that out there, huh?
Yeah. That's the most important detail.
Before Izya, Acid, and Amaya reconnect, you still dragging Riley around, or are you giving her a talk, or what's going on with her reluctance there?
I think just Max is just chilling with her, just trying to reassure her, basically.
Okay. Yeah, she turns to Marcus. This is all wrong. This is.
That's why we're here.
They're all gonna die.
Hopefully not.
If this place goes under, they've got no defenses. The smokes will come right through, right up from the earth.
Smokes?
Yes, we call them smoke entities.
Oh, damn. Okay. I thought it was on about like actual smoke. I was confused then.
They look kind of like smoke. And looks around. This place could be electrified, but just not down any of the tunnels. How many people are even here?
I thought I had told them that.
Yeah, I think it didn't get past to Riley,
I think it was 7,500.
or didn't reach her brain.
Consciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, that's so many people. They won't fit in here. Your face.
Fortunately, Izzy's not there to mention that there are literally 300 plus other bunkers. I didn't really go along with this. Because that's pretty fucking grim, quite frankly.
So, well, just to sum up, their whole grand plan is to basically turn their world in the same situation Onolau was.
It seems like it, yeah.
Huh. And we know that that's a really dumb idea.
Well, the people in charge of it have told virtually nobody that that's the plan, is the kind of scary component of that plan.
I mean,
Just saying.
Izzy can catch up now.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy catches up to see them kind of paused and or puttering along. They're certainly not making any bold steps. Marcus and Riley kind of talking near the back with a little bit of input from Archibald and others.
This is very bad.
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure. The guards are just the ones of these people who are willing to believe that they might get out in 3 years. This is very bad.
How long will it take the condensers?
I don't know. It would be nice if we could find out. Probably less than that, though, look from what I saw on the surface, but that's a guess.
my understanding it's exponential, and that's
The one in charge kept thinking about collapsing the bunker. As if we might do it at any moment.
why the hell would they do that?
Because it would probably be better than dying outside. But also, they've seen the government kill most of their leaders. And otherwise, fairly ruthlessly suppress anybody who wasn't willing to get with the program. I don't want to be here, and I don't know why this David thought we should be, or what he thought we could do.
We have to save them all. Riley
Yes,
starts
that would be
perking up.
nice.
Fortunately,
do you have any suggestions for how?
Just put them on a ship.
Which ship?
Well, we can call in the assets, but the question is, how do you get the defenses down?
Oh yeah.
The orbital defenses
Most of
will
them
take
don't
rather
even
difficult.
know there's a sector out there that could send ships. You'd have to convince them to get on.
That's
I
not
feel like-
hard though.
I feel like that would be the easier part, at least for the people here.
These people... These people don't think... They don't think there's anywhere to go. They don't think there's anything else out there. They think that they're on the losing side of a conflict amongst themselves, and that they're just going to have to take the consequences. Some of them might be happy to leap at alternatives, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are just beaten, frankly, if I can generalize from the Colonel and what we're seeing here, and the fact that there are apparently hundreds of bunkers just like this.
How many?
Well, if their numbering scheme is literal, at least 357 others.
All of them with thousands of people?
I don't know.
It is an uncomfortably high number of people, yes. Probably.
It doesn't seem like you'd build a bunker for a small number of people if you were these folks. I have to say, I'm impressed with their determination, if not their goal.
How do we save them? Well, we need to shut down. We need to shut down the condensers, but that's just simply too large scale to achieve ourselves.
Well, hold on. A thought occurs.
Mm-hmm.
The number of people we could find life signs for was quite low.
I want to reiterate that that was the number of population centers.
There, we had life signs on the surface, though, right?
And let me actually unravel some of the vagueness that I put into that.
Apparently, we
initially.
really misunderstood you. Yeah.
Well, no. It was intended to be vague because you had very low low fidelity information at that point. I think your characters can, at least as of now, start putting together some of that grainy information with some of the more specific stuff you've gotten here. That is that those low density like population centers just means that you didn't have 1 million people spread out over over an entire city. It may have meant you have 1 million people in a cluster of bunkers or in pinpoint bunkers throughout in locations throughout the city or outside the city.
That's not better. That's much worse.
It is much worse.
Also, like, literally the opposite of low density, but I get where you were going with it. It's an extremely high population density.
It's a extremely high population density. Where I was going with that is that it's low. It's
in a very small number of places. No, I get it now.
And you had no way of knowing exactly how high the density was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
All you really could do was, hey, there's energy using communities here. They're highly localized, and that energy use is not spread out across the city. So from your sensors, it would have looked like there were maybe a few 100,000 houses that have the lights on across the planet.
Yeah, except it turns out those lights are nuclear reactors and the houses are having Thanksgiving dinner.
With a very, very large family, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you one more detail here. From the data that Acid was able to see with some help from Valerian, she thinks it's more likely that there are hundreds of thousands of bunkers and not hundreds.
Yeah, there are just hundreds of them with dissenters in them, but that's both good and bad to know. So everybody's in bunkers. It would be interesting to see one of the ones where they had bought the party line. I'm not sure we have time to do that.
Maybe that's what just the other bunkers are, but instead of an X, it's I don't know, some other letter.
Well, mostly I'd be curious if they had a 3-year timer in one of the compliant bunkers. Or if they knew something else would happen to them. But honestly, it looks as though most of these people had no idea what they were doing. They were just encouraged to keep doing it. For generations.
Riley speaks up. It's kind of how it went on Tower.
Oh,
Not very many people knew how to keep the shields running, but there's always at least someone, and they had to stay alive, and I had to stay alive, or my mom had to stay alive to keep crew around.
yes, I see your point. Whoever coordinated this is a monster. I'm not sure there's anything we can do that will simply whisk this problem away.
Does that mean they're gonna die either way? It's too
I
cold.
really don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I don't have one either way, quite honestly. It's a bigger problem than I can solve.
Omikawa will chime in. Seems too cold out there to grow any more crops. Have to live on hydroponics.
Which they have, from the sound of things.
And
They expect to spend 3 years down here,
Yeah, clearly they expect
safely
to have
at the
reserves for
moment.
3 years.
which is not beyond the pale, I don't think, but peculiar.
This time from Valerian. Why 3 years, though?
A good question.
It's odd.
I wasn't able to get a clear answer. They seem to
Planetary
think that by then
agriculture.
things would be done.
Well, it seems too that they expect that they won't need to eat once the planet is subsumed.
Yes, that's
Which
well.
I believe.
To be clear,
To be clear, Riley needed to eat, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know food is still needed.
oh, they don't expect to.
They don't expect to
It
keep on
was
living.
hard to interpret, but from what I learned talking to the colonel, they don't expect to need bodies anymore in 3 years if this works.
That's not how any of this works.
We know that. You know that.
The
I don't know
Vega,
what to tell you.
the Vega need bodies.
Well, apparently not these bodies, if they're the ones in charge here.
I mean, we know that they kept
I think what we need to do is learn.
to correct thought stuff.
Hey,
I think
hang
we
on,
need to
hang on, Meowkin. I missed part of that, Nox.
We know that dense population facilities have been kept before just to feed that shit to condenser stuff or in conjunction with condenser stuff. So that could be the reason for keeping them, and they have no use for them once the condensers actually kick in.
Yes, you may recall some of the data from for those that might have read this far in, from a trip to see Mother, who was an AI tasked on a starship, a large Titan-class starship, basically orbiting around a star as a space station, and was the AI was tasked to keep exactly 100 people alive and around on that starship for vague, uncertain reasons. And now, what were you saying, Meowkin?
Oh, I was going to say in regards to Vega, we know that there's Vega inhabiting bodies on this planet or something like it, right?
I don't
Or
believe you've
do we-
confirmed that.
Or, well, I guess we had Infraworld signatures.
Yes.
So I guess we need to figure out what those
belong to, and if it's Vega, we need to see if we can't figure out if there's just some faction here, and I guess what their plans are.
Now to clear the air a little bit, pun intended, condensers also show up as Vega signatures.
Oh,
So maybe they've got the condensed, but they don't know why.
Would it be possible to?
so you're saying we really should have brought a scanner with us?
You have one, you just need to be not on the planet's surface to scan more. Like, when you were out in space, you could scan the planet
Well,
for...
we have a like a smaller scanner, don't we?
Oh, yes, yeah, no,
That was the initial one.
That's in your ship locker. You have that.
Yeah.
At this point, I
guess-
think that we can assume that that's been built into any survey scanners you bring with you.
Yeah. So we really should have brought that with us. For all we know, everyone here is actually a Vega.
Would it be possible to, if difficult, to kind of weaponize the, what is it, the silent, getting rid of condensers?
Blind.
Blind,
These
sorry.
are the blind.
Well, maybe. They'd take some convincing. The people here are the ones who didn't fight.
Yeah. I mean, we have the fucking the lead singer of the Blue Man group here. That's pretty compelling evidence.
I'm sorry, what?
Acid.
That's a blue woman.
Yeah, but she's bald, so it's easy to make the, mistake.
Wow.
And the Blue Man Group doesn't actually have to be all, males. Anyways.
It was a thought that came from the probing pre-break.
Well, you could try it. We'd need to show them something fairly convincing. We'd need to get them to, in all probability, turn their transmitters back on.
Our technology isn't compatible with their different language than them. We have people from different planets, and also we have Riley, who has like the Vega thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a different language by itself isn't that persuasive.
Sure, assuming this isn't a mono-language planet.
I mean, I'm sure they have technical jargon and other things like that, but that's not really.
I get
If
the
we're
point
going to
you're
try to
making,
do that-
Nox.
Yeah, no, I do too. Yeah,
You have a
it's just
plethora of languages amongst you that could convince someone that there's more out there.
well, if we want to try that, we pretty much have to start now.
Also, are we talking amongst ourselves here?
Yes, you're talking amongst yourselves. You're in a fairly secluded place. Someone would have to have bionic hearing to overhear you.
And the ability to speak any of the languages we're using.
Yes, that too.
Also, it's one of them. We could simply show off our psychic abilities, and that would probably blow their brains out. Because I very much doubt they, use such things. Like, why would they have the need for it?
At one point, I don't know. We could try it. It's not a lot I can do to show what I can
People
do.
are born randomly.
Yeah. Unless there's some genetic anomaly, just to throw GM notes out there, unless there's some genetic anomaly that rampaged this population hundreds of years ago, they definitely have had psychics. Now, you don't know whether they recognize those as psychics or simply insanity with strange things occurring. or if they have
yeah.
some way of training them.
Because I forget the numbers, but there's a stupid number like 1 in a stupid number that like
They
self-tames
have a lot of
themselves.
people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like self-training is extraordinarily rare.
Yeah.
And then trying to get a school together is a whole other issue.
Yep. I mean,
So
Well-
say we go with the try to convince them to rebel plan.
I don't feel like we need to do, because I mean, again,
Well, here,
it's just
okay.
that-
Well, hold
I
on.
mean-
So, I mean, obviously, that's not like boom solved, right? But the fact of the matter is, there are an awful lot of people in these bunkers who were not on board with this to begin with.
Mhm.
And they can get way more done quickly than we can, even if we call in help.
So, I mean, I don't know if necessarily rebel. I mean, if the majority of the guards are in on it, and we can convince them.
Oh, I
that,
don't mean against the guards. I mean against, the people who are coming
okay.
here.
Yeah,
I mean literally inciting these people to go out there and start breaking condensers. I think it was Knox
Yes.
proposed.
yeah, we absolutely, yeah. I think that's the best plan. We need a lot more people to make a meaningful impact on this plan, basically.
Okay, so what do
The
we think the best way to convince them is?
Well, we could always have Riley share her story.
I mean, you should just let them know they've been lied to.
Well, yeah,
But
that
they
too.
know.
I guess,
They
yeah.
already
maybe
suspect they may have been lied to. The question is, how do we persuade them that we're not doing it?
Yeah, that we're not the liars.
Yeah.
Let me hold you guys for just a second because I've heard Nox jump in here real quick.
Sorry. First thing I said was the alternative is we find a way to turn this planet into ashes.
We can do that,
And if we're going to
but
start talking some radical freedom shit, we should probably take away their guns first. We'll give them back, but just
I don't know.
here, let us hold it to your guns and watch this presentation.
Actually, that's not a bad point. There's an intercom in here, which apparently they can see throughout a lot of places. Is there a media facility or anything?
Yes, there is.
I assume we
Great.
also do actually have that because remember, the Raza does have like a little Video.
Thing.
yeah
Yep.
Yes.
some
That's where I'm going with this.
regarding the Vega at least.
Yep. So I'll have to get back in touch with Vadim and tell him that circumstances demand that we make a multimedia presentation to everyone in order to explain the virtues of the Blue Sunset Project. I think that's how we get started here, and then you guys can figure out what's in the video.
Okay.
How's that sound?
I'm trying to remember. Does that include any information? Did we include the information about Onolau in that situation there? Because I think that's the most important part. Is hey, this is what you're going to do, and this is what life will be like.
Yeah, I think it's fair to assume that one that includes that data and video of it could have been compiled and available to you. You've got a couple different varieties and versions of it, based on whether you need to scare someone straight or gently convince them or somewhere in between.
We're going with more or less the scared straight approach here.
I think so. Yeah.
These people are already like not on board, so let's tell them they were right, and this is what's actually going to happen. And oh dear.
And that's if it works.
If it works, and if it doesn't, they're just all going to die.
Yeah. Like this is the good outcome.
Best
Nox.
case, you let your government herd you into a bunch of fuel tanks for devices designed to destroy your planet. Worst case, your planet is destroyed and you die.
Nox.
we can reuse the prop. We can get some money-saving, reusable assets from last campaign. We have the propaganda reel.
Yeah.
That's basically what I was referring to.
Okay.
No, that's not necessarily propaganda. I mean, it's
Oh, they were in the last campaign.
yeah.
All right, well,
they're referred
that's,
to as
I mean,
sizzle reels.
I think
Yeah,
that's what we're going
exactly.
with then. Unless somebody has a better or different idea.
See, sizzle reel's not the same thing as propaganda.
No, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Is it propaganda if it's true?
Yep. So I think that's what we do, guys. Right? That's the plan
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Okay.
If I need to get it going with authority, Vadim is no longer openly hostile. I make him do it.
I do need another lead charisma check from you to try and kind of keep this whole dynamic going.
Sure. So yeah, no problem. Okay, sure. I'll explain that between the census and talking to him, we've become concerned, and we feel that there are some things everybody needs to be reminded of and know. And get everybody together in the media room, please. We're gonna take care of this in one go, so that we can get out of here because we have other places we need to visit.
So he does point out that the media room is not big enough for all 7,500 people.
That's fine. Bring all the important people.
But they have multiple media rooms and can
Even better.
probably get they can arrange something there. So just as a point of flavor, you don't have an audience of 7,500 in one room. You've got 300
Get
and
all
then
the adult
all
people
throughout.
with any damn sense. That's the important part here.
Sounds good. Go ahead and
coming.
get that skill check from you.
So we're absolutely gonna incite riots.
Well, there you go.
But hopefully they'll be small enough and contained enough that we can get a workable force out of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How are other members here contributing to this project? And by other members, I mean your PCs and or NPCs. I just need to know where the skill checks are coming from and what those skill checks represent.
I suppose the Archibald is, like I said, I was noting down the list of some of the more discontent people.
Okay.
Basically making certain that I have know where they're going and keeping eyes on them.
Okay. So
The more revolutionary, like the ones more likely to start a riot and or revolutionary.
this sounds like it's putting some bounty hunter skills to use.
Maybe.
In kind of tracking and identifying the most likely suspects of difficulty.
Yes.
So, just to be clear with you guys up front, this is going to be a multi-hour project. You're okay with that?
It is what it is at this point. I'm not sure there's anything more useful we can do with those hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, I think that easily fits within. Meow can go ahead and make a connect or notice check. And unfortunately, it's still not Dex. It's either going to be Wisdom or Charisma.
All right, but I do. Okay. Let me see.
But it is bounty hunting related.
Yes, so I can reroll. Or hold on, what was the first?
Is it reroll or 3d6?
It's for now.
was a
Right now, it's
reroll.
reroll.
Yes.
You changed it to reroll.
That's right, right.
Don't need it.
Don't need it. All right, so you've got Archibald keeping tabs on the persons of interest. Izya kind of maintaining you and your group as leadership infrastructure and coordinating with or leadership structure and coordinating with the local leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get some of that material in there, as well as you will probably need to supplement your video with someone doing some
Live
public
testimonials.
speaking. Mhm.
Yep. Can we just assume that Oogie is doing the public speaking? Or is that cheating?
If not, Marcus will do it.
I will let Oogie give
That
a
seems
plus
like it would
one
be
to-
his job if he were here.
Yeah, it does. Now, let me tell y'all.
About these.
Let me tell y'all a
goddamn
story about a planet named Onalau. I don't have anything that rhymes with Unalao, so we're done here. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sure. Let me take a look at his character sheet here.
Talk or connect.
Oh yeah, his connect is definitely good. His talk is not as good, but it's not bad.
Now, we'll let Marcus explain it to everybody. I'm sure that won't have any consequences.
It is more of a talk thing than a connect. Marcus's talk is good, right?
Talk 1, charisma 2.
Okay.
Or you just you do have that whole crate of drugs. You could just like give it to him. All right, hey, take this.
No, do not use it. We're not trying to brainwash these people. We're trying to persuade them. When we get around to brainwashing people, we can get out the hallucinogens.
So Marcus can take a +1 either from Oogie, and Oogie's ability to connect with large groups of people, or from Riley as Riley's actual personal testimonial. What would he prefer?
Sorry, say that again. So we've got what?
I mean, technically you can use them both, but I'm forcing you to decide which is more prominent. Oogie and his ability to connect with people on a large scale and on a long scale, or
Yes.
Riley, who has personal experience living on a planet that has been subsumed by the infraworld.
So do we want to scare the shit out of them or not? Is the answer.
I feel like it makes more sense to have Riley explain things to whoever they decide is in charge. Oogie just has to get them there, and then we can let Riley talk to the people who really need to know. Everybody doesn't need to know. These people are probably scared already.
We'll go Oogie.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it with your +1.
Larry, I got.
Okay, and that was a roll from Amaya with Acid's help to interface the hardware and software with your file format, and with a roll like that, maybe you've optimized some of their media playback so that there's not any kind of synchronization issues. And
60 FPS, not 30 FPS,
yeah, and you don't have any rooms that you have to tell repeatedly to mute themselves.
Yeah, maybe add subtitles if we have the time.
Yeah, with a 15, I'm perfectly fine with that.
That's
Valerian
Valerian's
helps with that.
contribution then. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I know what the next phase of our plan is, but let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Well, I do have a question, though.
What's that?
If it turns out that we are overlooking the possibility of Vega being here already, aren't these people screwed? You can leave that hanging. I'm just pointing it out.
I mean, we would have detected them. I believe
Well, no.
myself can somewhat, because they look different to me. And also Riley can as well.
I mean on the
Riley?
planet, not in this bunker, although that's a good point.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
My concern is his bunker. Could Riley detect them?
Yeah, Vega
Oh.
can detect
Right.
Vega.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, did any of that happen while they were doing the census?
No.
See, it was
Okay.
a smarter idea than we thought.
Yep, it absolutely was. I totally forgot about that. I should have remembered that.
And yes, Marcus does actually have metapsynics, so he can also detect that difference there.
Yeah, Izzy's got nothing for that, by the way, in case anybody wondered.
Yeah.
Except that he can't telepathically contact Vega. So, absence of no. I got nothing for this.
If Izia sees a ball of light floating by somebody and he cannot telepathically connect with that ball of light, he still doesn't know what it is.
Right. Although it raises the interesting possibility of what happens if I can telepathically connect with the ball of light. But we're not there right now.
Well, then it's not a Vega.
By definition, yes, but
It's just somebody holding a flashlight. That's all it is.
oh, well, yeah, I guess I can't telepathically connect with flashlights either.
But
Okay.
if you could,
Your presentation goes quite well. There are definitely no technical issues with an undertaking of this sort. And I'm going to add one more piece of trouble for you. It's a good piece of trouble, but it is in the form of information. In wiring this up, Amaya and Acid learn that the transmission block is for, well, is and was for these people's safety. It turns out that had any transmissions been sent out, had that block been removed, it would have triggered the collapse protocol.
See, I had thought that was possible given what I was picking up from Vadim, but I wasn't sure yet.
Mhm.
Good to know.
Amaya and Acid were able to confirm that, and Acid sneered with a grudging hint of respect for them.
Okay. Well,
Well,
Acid's
no.
next problem is, can we do anything about that? So that should be fun. But,
Acid, no, that's not a good thing.
it's one of these, Okay, great. I'm glad you found the problem. What are you going to do about it? Situations that come up in real
Right.
life. Okay.
Tell me, what is the effect you are trying to achieve with these 7,500-ish people with this presentation? Because you've achieved it.
Bluntly, light a fire under their asses.
Okay. Are you wanting them to desire to leave here and seek out the nearest condenser and destroy it?
No.
Okay.
At least, not as, step 2, right?
Well, okay. We'll leave that for further conversation, and I'll just tell you for now that yes, you have their attention and their trust. Not 100%, not
Right.
not complete and full. But as long as everything else you do from here on forward is plausible and reasonable, given what you've already shown them here, they're on your side.
Okay. I mean, the larger message here is, you're going to have to save yourselves. We're here to help, but this is kind of a big undertaking.
We do not have the manpower.
Yeah.
A little bit more information that comes out afterwards. You're given full cooperation and then some, 110% cooperation from Vadim, who can tell you where all the bunkers are across the planet.
Yep.
There are 375,000 of them.
That few.
That few. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
375,000 bunkers?
Yes, actually 374,585.
Boy, howdy. So few.
17 of them were used to basically imprison the blind.
Yeah, it's about 2 billion people. It's all close to 3.
Yep.
Assuming same as this one. There's probably some larger and some smaller, but still.
Yeah, 2.5-3 billion people.
He says that the
Just a few
bunkers were all designed to accommodate up to 8,000, although very few of them were expected to be filled completely. Most of them are around 7,500 people.
I'm pretty happy with the 2.5 to 3 billion number.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's daunting, and there's only 17 of them with the blind in them?
There's only 17 of them with the blind in them.
Okay. Well, okay, so step something is contact those other bunkers because they need to see this too, right?
Mm-hmm. That's he'll reveal to you what Acid and Amaya have already informed you of the control that was placed on them for as punishment for someone who is now dead, having sent out a distress call.
Yeah. Okay. That's that explains that. Right. So Izzy's just basically going to want to find out what in hell happened here from somebody who knows the local history at some point in this process, but not right this minute on camera.
Okay.
Where are we going with this plan, folks? Are we going to go just try and bust some condensers right now? What are we going to do?
I don't know.
All right. Well, if we think about how to attack this problem, there's basically two issues, right? Condensers, space defensive. Do we think we can do anything about the space defensive? Does Vadim think he can do anything about the space defenses?
He says that the Xandera does have a sizable navy, but that the folks among the 17 bunkers, the blind bunkers, there probably aren't enough skilled Navy personnel to actually, fight back against that orbital defense network, and says that yes, it will fire on anything leaving as well, even if it's a Xanderan ship.
Okay, so Vadim knows all the really important shit, apart from how to turn it off. Got it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Vadim and crew, these answers aren't all coming from him. They're coming from him and others.
But they're coming from Vadim. Don't worry about it.
Anything else you want from him?
Well, yeah, you know what I want him to do is I want him to let us go back up and contact the ship. So we can find out how long the condensers are going to take, because apparently they've been working on that, right?
I believe you did have Armstrong trying to figure out the math on that, yeah.
Well, we've been here a while. How's that going?
Okay. You guys are given no resistance in trying to get back up to the ship. There's the only point that you really have to make any point of is whether to let anyone else out of the bunker. This is a question. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, are there any actual patrols or anything?
Vadim believes that there will be robotic patrols on the surface, but doesn't know how long those will last. I mean, for them, it's been a week since Blue Sunset, and about 5 weeks since they started being put into bunkers.
Yeah. That's really I'm just trying to think if there's any real good reason to keep them bottled up. I kind of find it weird that they're, I mean, I get it that it's because the surface is going to become cold and all that jazz. But it seems kind of weird. It's not like it's toxic.
Well, a thing I'd like to establish, if we can. What's up with the 3-year timer, and is it bullshit?
Oh, yeah, actually, that is a great question. Thank you for reminding me. 3 years is is part of why the blind saw a surgence in popularity in the final weeks and final months. It was an arbitrary time limit set as if this has failed, our planet will effectively be ruined, and there will be nothing left to live for, so everybody gets stocked with 3 years of supplies.
Okay, so...
very long Kool-Aid cult.
Okay, so that tells us what people were told. Now, are the bombs in the bunker going to go off, in a week?
No. The collapse protocols are supposed to be voluntary, voted upon by each individual bunker, if they don't want to slowly freeze to death and starve to death after 3 years has elapsed.
Okay, yeah, that seemed like the reasonable person's way to interpret that, but I wanted to confirm that these people were not as evil as I am. Fine.
They kind of are also that. They are able to be triggered remotely, as long as some kind of control tower can send that signal, which is what got blocked. To put that a different way,
yeah,
somebody at a higher level of authority could have sent a signal to collapse this bunker.
Okay, and still can, presumably.
As long as their antenna remains blocked software-wise, incoming and outgoing signals are not allowed, and so can't at this time.
Oh, well, they should. Okay, so that's. Fuck, that's a real problem.
They're not going to turn their antenna back on, is what that means, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real problem. Because if they did, and they could talk to the other bunkers with the centers, they would be in much better shape. Okay. All right, how are we doing with the... How long do they have scheme?
Do you mean interpreting the data or
Yeah.
at the bunker? Okay.
Interpreting the data.
Before everything's subsumed.
Yeah, no, I wanted to find out whether you were saying it's okay to leave the bunker before I moved on to that.
Well, I mean, it's okay to leave the bunker far enough to be in radio contact. I'm not actually sure we're done with these people yet until we hear what the ship has to say.
We don't want them spreading out or anything, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to decide until we know what the situation really is.
I like, again, I don't know. I don't feel like there's a terribly good reason, even though I don't know what the deal is with the robot patrols.
They're more or less under your control, so to try and perhaps make this less of an issue,
More tactful.
we'll say that Vadim and crew suggest that everybody be kept inside. That way, you don't have people just kind of dispersing and spreading out and getting killed by patrols.
Right.
Yeah, I would never.
We're
have
still
told them to
collecting
do that, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're still trying to collect them. We're trying to still collect information, so we'll.
Yeah.
So,
I can't
yeah.
give them a better guideline than don't just wander off until we know more. Exactly.
Yeah.
Vadim wants to keep control of the situation as is. Alright, so you return to the surface and get back in your stolen vehicles, unless you want to take one of those ATVs with you now. You actually could all fit into one ATV if you wanted. Alright, back to your stolen vehicles.
Yeah,
And
it's not vehicles. It's
I
cooler.
just really grew attached to our stolen
We let the people leave the bunker and they go, "Hey, that's my car. What's that doing here?"
Yeah, let's get rid of the evidence.
and return to your ship. Your repairs have...
We really just need to come back into communication range, I think. But yeah.
yeah, which
Sure.
is shortened a little bit by the huge thick mist, I'm sure. So within a few hundred meters, I guess, you're able to make contact. Actually, you know what? No. Ship-wide communications are... yes, I was making that more complex out of lack of understanding. Yes, once you're outside the bunker, you can communicate back with the ship and get an idea. And Armstrong presents a moderately distressing news. They say that the rate of decrease in temperature, as in actual active decrease, not just falling, but something is dragging it down, is increasing over time. If the algorithm and the calculus and all the math that Armstrong has done is an indication, then they're not really sure what they're looking for, except for the data from Onalau, where it stopped being as cold. Actually, no, I take that back. You had data from Coast. And okay, so Armstrong says that this planet will be absorbed by correlating the temperature with the expansion of the portals within 3 weeks to 3 months.
Okay. Armstrong should make sure to collect as much data about the whole situation and what went on here as she possibly can. As Armstrong possibly can. Because this is the most well-developed condenser project anybody has ever seen, and they put a lot of work into it, so it's obviously meant to work. And it will reveal a lot about how the fucking things work. when you see them applied on this larger scale. B, 3 weeks to 3 months is very bad. Just rationally, with only less than 1 million people, probably, there's no way we're going to be able to knock down all these condensers in that amount of time. Even if everything went perfectly recruiting-wise.
Wait, I have an idea. It's a very chilling idea.
Okay.
Would all of, I'll say, the vaults have a self-collapse feature?
Or just all the blind ones.
A good question. It sounds like all of them.
Yeah. The impression you got from Vadim is it was a deliberate mercy protocol built into all the vaults, because there was a chance that the whole project wouldn't work and they didn't want people starving and freezing to death if they could get crushed to death.
So much better.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot faster. That's obviously the reasoning they're using. You avoid so many bad things by just dying in that circumstance.
And the end goal is for, you know...
Again,
to
the
be
project's
bodies
supposed to
for
work.
them.
Right, but, well, I don't think that is, actually.
Can you repeat that, Ben? I wasn't able to hear it. Sorry.
And that there'll be bodies basically for them to inhibit. Inhibit?
Inhabit.
You know, take over.
Yeah. I don't know if that holds up.
Crew can respond there that Vega can't possess the actual dead. They can only stay in the dead if there's nothing else, no one else to possess.
The question is here, do they just want to take out a planet or do they want to spread from this planet? Because if they want to spread, then you can do the fucked up thing of trying to trigger everyone's vault. You'd be sentencing a whole world to die.
Yeah, but that's back to the space torpedo idea, or whatever it was.
Yep, or you just do
I'm
it.
not sure we have a choice with this timeline.
Or you just do it where it's like, look, you either need to do the condensers, you have X amount of days to leave the vault. At that point, they're all going to be effectively shut down. Just, you know, a bit more harshly.
Yeah, but what does that help us? How does that help us?
It means those that are willing to help will help. Those that are weak enough will just let themselves die. And those that want to be part of the Vega, well, that's where it gets spicy.
Most of the people are on board with this whole plan, so it would just be increasing the amount of resistance we have exponentially.
Presumably under false pretenses, but then again, they're also less likely to believe us.
Right. I mean, the people who are likely to believe us are not exactly numerous on the side of things.
Yeah, the X's.
It was very nice of them to put all the people who are most likely to believe you in one place.
Yeah.
Or in 17 places.
So we can start.
Yeah, it really was, because I can tell you, if I was running a project like this, my solution would have involved putting them in camps, but other things would have happened from there.
Actually,
I'm kind of shocked, actually.
In regards to tasking Armstrong on something in regards to more information, can we start working on basically how much of a difference would it make, like each condenser shut down, how much of a difference does that make? So I guess I don't know necessarily we're going to be spending more than 3 weeks here. But I imagine if the planet needed to be evacuated, I imagine that's a process that'll take over 3 weeks, right?
Armstrong is willing to go into a little bit more of the physics as they understand them, with those characters who have more of a physics understanding. Let's see. That would be exactly acid, I imagine.
I mean, Izzy's not ignorant, but
okay.
They know more than he does, but he'll get the big picture.
I think Amaya could understand some of it, and for those that wouldn't, I think it can be simplified in translation. So Armstrong says that the 3 weeks estimate is hinging on the the ability of these condensers and portals to become self-sustaining, and is about at the point that they estimate these self-sustaining reactions might actually be able to start feeding off the heat of the planetary core.
Right, but we could. If I remember correctly, you're still able to shut them down. It's just a lot more difficult. Like if you physically destroy.
Yeah.
The portal. The frame.
Armstrong says that at this point, these condensers are all already self-sustaining from the infraworld. It's just that.
Right, but that was a power. That was like the power. Like you can't just cut the power to them. You have to actually destroy it.
Right. Yeah, sorry, I was getting the two mixed up. Right now, the portals are still attached to the condenser, so the portals can still be destroyed by destroying the condensers. The 3 weeks. Thank you for helping me parse that. The 3 weeks is once the planetary core starts becoming the power source. This based on data from Onalau, the condensers are no longer necessary.
Gotcha. But so that still keeps my question though: of how much time does removing even a few buy?
Armstrong
like how many would need to be destroyed to buy significant time? Yeah.
Armstrong is going to do something Armstrong hates, and Armstrong lets you all know that Armstrong does not like this at all. But makes a guess of at least half.
To make a significant difference.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's way more than I was hoping to hear.
Okay, so you go.
No, you go.
No,
Ben's not playing
Hugo
this session, this campaign.
Definitely you go. Mine's real dark. Let's go to yours first.
Well, I mean, I don't know if mine's necessarily better. I mean,
all right, okay, you're first.
Well, no, I guess actually, no. I guess I'm framing it differently now too in my head. Is it better? Because there are I guess, potential repercussions. I'm trying to remember. Is there repercussions for the sector as a whole if this system is subsumed?
There are very, very strong hints and intimations that the more infraworld is in here, the more other systems will get dragged into the infraworld.
Gotcha. So it would be particularly bad, well, or at least overall very bad for the Raz's war goals for this planet, of the system even, to become consumed or subsumed into the infraworld. So, boy howdy, that's really a point in favor of blowing up the planet, but that's real bad.
You could also make a propaganda point out of it. Sorry, I'll stop.
Sorry, about blowing up the planet?
No, about it being subsumed. Hey guys, this is what happens. Let's stop all this stuff.
Okay, so...
I mean, I feel like man... Just trying to get as many people off as possible.
But like,
okay, carry on.
That's all grim. There's literally under 1 billion people out of a world of billions that can plausibly be saved in the time we have available.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make more sense to just try to trigger the kill signal in the other bunkers right now?
Of all the people that wouldn't...
Just fucking kill them all so they can't interfere while we try to do whatever else it is we're doing.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean...
I told you it was darker.
I don't know if it's darker or not, though, because I feel like that's still actually less people dying.
I mean, that was Hugo's idea, literally.
It's more or less the idea Marcus had, but like, for real, maybe we just go ahead and get that over with, and then do what we can.
Yeah, I mean,
condemn all the Vega supporters to death. and then all the
Oh
X's
no, I'm
would
not
be
even
from the
worried about the
trans.
Vega. I'm worried about people shooting at us or trying to run planetary defenses or any of that shit.
No, that's what I mean. So, like,
We-
all the blinds, all the X's, like, hey, look, help us. If you want to help us, it's available. If not, we can make it painless for you. But we still kill all the Vega supporters.
God, man, this is oof.
Yep, condemning a well to death.
But then again, the greater good.
I don't like that the first mission of the campaign for me is an interplanetary trolley problem.
It is absolutely a trolley problem. I mean, it's
Why can't we just Tokyo Drift doing both?
but I mean, arguably, this was. I mean, the people on this planet were pretty much doomed, anyways, right? So far as any of our information tells us, these people are essentially doomed, no matter what we do. So at this point, it's a matter of triaging and minimizing.
Given the available in-game and
Even-
out-of-game information to which we have access, these people are smoked.
Yeah. So we just need to save as many as possible at this point. So I don't know if it's necessarily a trolley problem.
It's still
I
pretty
guess
much
that's
trolley
it.
problem, although I get what
guess,
you're saying.
I guess in a sense it is, but I mean the majority of these people are dead no matter what. It's like a trolley problem, except that there's people on a track where the track joins up again.
I think the trolley problem
So
parallel
it's not-
is there's this one system on this side, and 5 systems or 30 systems on the other side.
But
That's
it's not
really
even-
more where I'm going.
But it's not even that though, because so far as again, as our information says, most of these people are screwed anyways. Even if we don't do any no matter what we do, a significant portion of these people are doomed.
Yeah,
So it's like a trolley problem where you have. I'm not sure.
where there's people
you
tied in
have
front
the
of the lever. I get
You
it.
still have, you have all this, in front of the lever, or even the tracks just come back together, and there's people tried down there.
Yeah.
I mean, just think of it this way as well. Think of how fucked up Earth is with it just getting a couple of degrees warmer. Imagine how fucked up this place is getting a couple of degrees colder.
It's probably
Right.
going to be a really nasty 3 weeks.
Well-
yeah.
Well, and
Just point that out.
and even on the backside of it with the Onolau situation is people are just basically getting eaten by black smoke entities.
Right, and that's also very bad. But I'm talking about like hurricanes and shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really bad 3 weeks to be on the surface of this world.
Right. So we just need to save as many people as possible, and the hard decision is whether we just go ahead and roll out all the people that are likely to cause us a problem. It's they're probably gonna die anyways.
All right, so I'm going to ask a question that I've
I'm-
been sitting on for a minute anyway, which is, can we hijack the transmitter on this bunker, put it on the Raza or the Marmoset, and use it to try to talk to other people on this planet?
You probably could.
Okay, so that probably is a good idea. Because apparently these people have not just built a whole bunch of bunkers, but also built a bunch of the condensers in hard to get to places and things,
Mhm.
right?
I mean, it's one of them. At least we know what we're looking for now, and we can get around a whole lot easier with the ship.
I think collapsing. Yeah, it's better than blowing up the planet.
But do we let the X's out? Is what I'm saying, though. We give
I
the
think we
X's
do.
the choice.
I think we do that. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Good,
the
we
people that
agree on
are much more likely to.
If we can
believe and cooperate.
feasibly get the blind out, that even leaving apart the morality of it, that's a lot more people to work toward whatever other solution we pursue.
So I'm going to
So-
take a minute here.
Mhm.
Actually, was there somebody else that had another comment to make? No. Okay.
I was
So
just gonna say 7,500 people can populate a planet.
So this is where you might consider those assets. Obviously, the support points aren't going to do you any good because there is nobody here who's ever even heard of Raza to support you until you just
I
convert.
mean, there's probably someone high up in government.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Possibly. But you effectively have 3 uses of Raza assets to do with as you think are feasible and best to solve this problem here. Um,
And one of those uses would essentially be planet destroying missile, right?
planet
If that
destroying
was something
missiles.
that we wanted
Yeah.
to lean on.
Even though those got destroyed in the previous campaign, those that you
There
had
were
picked
more
up,
on the planet.
there were more on the planet, and it's absolutely reasonable that Raza has confiscated some of those as found by pirates.
And I'll be honest, I was convinced by Jai that it was a mistake to have dismantled them. Because the zombie virus is absolutely worse.
Please do type that and let Lulu know that, because. So yes, you've got planet destroying missiles. That is one possible use of assets. You can't fit very many people on your ship. However, that's also another possible use of assets. If you
there
were,
are apparently ships here, so
there are ships here. Mm-hmm.
there's that too.
They don't have spike drives there.
That doesn't necessarily matter.
Right, it
No.
at least gets them off the
important
planet.
part is yes, that buys time at least.
Right.
Yes.
But presumably we would still have to use some sort of assets to get
In
them
the
out
long
of the
run,
system. Yes.
Now it's unlikely, under any stretch of the
could.
imagination, that they have enough ships to transport 1 million people.
Yeah. Well, now that is actually, once you get them off the planet, that's where some support could come in handy. Though that's actually usually like information stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's usually information stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if you think about it, you call in something that can hold that many people, or some things that can hold, some number of people, and you get the rest of them off the planet, and they have a fighting chance of living until they can be picked up by something that can take them out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Presumably it wouldn't. The support, I feel like you could kind of make an argument of basically as a humanitarian crisis kind of deal.
You know what? I would accept that. If you can find a way to that information will help you at this point. Information from outside.
At the very least, like an advertisement campaign that hey, the Raza needs your help. There's a humanitarian crisis.
And that's
Okay.
part of why Izzy is as interested as he is in the history of what led up to this.
Mm-hmm.
Because quite frankly, saving everything you can about what led to this would be very informative in the long run. Not just for propaganda value, but for like spotting it elsewhere, for all kinds of things.
I strongly suspect we've got another situation where there's Vega in charge.
Yeah, there's going to be at least one, and yes, but not just that, right? Like this took them a very long time to get done. What was the
Mm-hmm.
So the that actually is one question I have too. Is I guess is there a bunker in particular where the top leadership?
Yeah, I thought of
been.
that too.
I can't imagine
those
this
can
bunker
just
would
go if that's the case. But like,
well, I mean, I assume that's where all the best information is too, all the best data.
Not necessarily. You'd be shocked at how uninterested rich people are in what other people know about history. Like you really would, because it's bottomless, as far as I can tell.
So to offer a couple of answers, no, all the top brass are not contained in one single bunker.
You mean they didn't randomly leave themselves vulnerable to a decapitation strike while leaving their enemies alive?
They did not.
Damn. I just love those.
Okay, well these people aren't complete idiots.
There are some bunkers that are a little bit nicer for the absolute richest of the rich, and house fewer people. But those seem more like they were off the main military-built bunkers, anyways. Those were literally rich people building their own bunkers.
And Doomsday Preppers are doing great on this planet.
Okay, I have a different. I have a modification of the Marcus proposal. We get all the nice, friendly dissenters out, or for a value of out, and once they're safe, Then we broadcast to everybody using the stolen radio the same propaganda film we showed the dissenters.
Yes.
Well, and
But
then
first,
give
we
it.
make sure the people who are probably amenable to being saved don't get blown up.
Oh yeah, get them out of the bunkers before they decide.
Uh-huh.
Before some head honcho decides to collapse all of them at once.
Right, exactly.
That seems reasonable.
I mean,
I will say, to get people off the planet, we do need to turn off the orbital defenses.
We do.
Yep.
That's one of the question mark steps in this plan that we have
And
not really formed yet.
The planetary defense is also kind of, which I guess is kind of like the orbital. But yeah, we need
Well,
those.
also these robot kill squads sound really ominous.
No, that's probably fine. I bet you they just got, like.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Nah, they're
Gangs
just
of
stunned by
murderous
taunts.
robots seem like a logistical problem for our efforts here.
I'm sure they've just got little stunned batons. It's fine.
I mean, I'll just deal with them.
Who would give a robot a gun?
It seems like these dudes. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Do they at least have a preset kill limit?
I'm not sure how that would help us in this context, although it's an interesting question.
So the killbots in Futurama had.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I'm
Okay.
just not sure how it helps us.
Well, let's get back on track here real quick so we can close out the session. I'll throw in one NPC comment, and it's from Acid, and she says just blow up the whole planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's last resort Acid.
They've brought this on
That as an
themselves.
option. Yeah, but
Yeah, we're not rolling it out, but I feel like that's our last resort.
right. We're gonna try some other shit first.
For those that are a little bit more perceptive, Acid said that with the barest smidgen of not sarcasm, a little bit of empathy, and a little bit lacking in conviction. Like it was said because that was
What was expected.
that was expected, and that was her belief system. But now being faced with it, there's that belief system is
harder.
shaken just a little bit. She's not one-dimensional, is what I'm saying. Just two.
Yeah. I had that need to mention.
Anybody else have any other in-character thoughts or interactions on this before I do take us to a review? Because I'm pushing this because I actually want you guys to have the time to. This is going to exclude Marcus or Ben, sorry, but to have some discussion and include Oogie in those thoughts too.
I mean,
I think I'm okay for now.
Wants.
What was that, Ben?
I should know what Marcus wants.
Yep. Okay. A little bit more flavor to round out the session. Riley is practically catatonic. This is being very hard on her, and she is mainly continuing to stand with a little bit of emotional support from Amaya and Omikawa, and anyone else who has I can't remember who else has tried to be kind of a supportive figure for her. Marcus.
I mean, it's almost literally everybody but Archibald and Izzy.
I mean, Archibald, but he's just awkward about it.
Okay, it's just Izzy who isn't a supportive figure.
Well,
I'm not even sure he means not to be. He's just weird.
Acid isn't terribly supportive
Well,
either.
okay, that's fine. I have some company with the NPCs. You're right, but still.
Yes. Yeah, this is a kind of a traumatic thing for her. Those two of you in my last campaign may remember she was very, very active, proactive, and adamant about trying to save absolutely everyone on Tower. And that was only 800
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Well, she don't want to call them
And
Like-
that was on a ship that could at least carry a significant portion of those people at one time.
Yeah. Yep.
This is a lot of people.
Yeah, it's more than she's really been able to fathom.
It's really hard for humans to comprehend numbers that big.
I think
Look.
Izia is actually the only one from a planet with a comparable scale of dudes around. Because there's a shitload of people on Ka, it turns out.
Yeah.
On boats, somehow.
Amaya's from Third, right?
Amaya's from
Or
Kanagiris.
oh, Candigaris, never mind.
I mean, there's lots of people on Kanagiris, but not billions. I don't think.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and fall into review.